This week's movie was originally called Bulletproof Hearts, starring Dana Carvey and John Lovitz, but it's not that anymore.
What?
I'm Derek.
I'm Whitney.
I'm flabbergasted and Jack.
This is Bad Movies,
Worst people.
Before that it was originally like a whole different movie, buddy cop kind of comedy.
I had no idea.
So it was.
I do
want to
see that in some universe, though.
Yes,
it was supposed to be them. Well, then Michael Bay could have directed it because they couldn't have made all these race jokes. But well, John Lovitz probably could have.
John Lovitz would have.
Yeah, that was the original idea because they were very, popular still from their time on SNL, even though it had been so much longer ago. But apparently they went on a trip to Vegas with the producer Don Simpson, and Dana Carvey was basically horrified by his notorious party lifestyle, meaning cocaine.
Oh man, how bad you got to be to horrify somebody in Vegas?
God,
how bad you got to be to horrify somebody who was on SNL in the 70s?
Right? I was like, it's Dana Carvey.
The man was friends with Farley, and you out-coked him.
I guess he was on in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
90s.
Ooh, that was
first
not
one of the
me.
night.
It's all right. Ben's here.
In spirit, at least.
There was also supposed to be Eddie Murphy and Wesley Snipes at some point too, which is why I thought it was funny when Martin Lawrence gets out of the car and he's like, "I'm not fucking Wesley Snipes."
I'm not passenger 57.
Yeah. Wow, I didn't know about the Snipes one though.
Yeah,
What a whole different movie.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
would've.
IMDb trivia, so take it as you will.
Yeah. But I'd heard of the Lovitz one before this.
Yeah.
Lovitz in this style of movie is just hard for me to wrap my brain around.
I want it
right
to
now.
be
Jealous.
I want it to be this exact movie with almost the exact same script, but with those two, just because it would be a lot.
So obviously,
Even the part where they come in, they announce that, forgive the language, the colorful language, but they announce that they're Negroes.
Yes,
Are they sticking with that?
I want that in the script.
Okay.
You got too much bass in your voice.
You
If
gotta
you
sound
haven't-
like them.
if you haven't figured it out,
Yeah.
we're doing Bad Boys.
That's what I was about to say. I was like, wait, did we introduce what we were doing besides Bulletproof Hearts?
Yeah.
Yes, this is 1995's Bad Boys, Michael Bay's
What you want?
wanna do?
directorial debut.
Besides porn.
Yes, real directorial debut. It cost $19 million. So
That's coming in pretty low for old
Yeah.
Mikey.
I
yeah,
mean,
but it was 95, right?
yeah, but it's still pretty low for an action movie.
And with all the stuff that was going on, like the bangs,
You get a lot of sets. You get a lot of action on these sets.
a lot of ether catching on fire before it's hit.
I was gonna say there was a minimal amount of babangs compared to like a Transformers or something like that. But that's because they actually had to blow stuff up in this. They couldn't just put it in a computer.
Yeah. I was thinking while I was watching it, is this kind of like the most grounded out of all the bays for the most part?
I would think. No, we just watched one where there was Pain and Gain had like one explosion.
I guess Pain and Gain is, I forget that's Bay, even though we just did it.
Yeah.
I mean,
That
it's,
is-
it's grounded, but this is almost more realistic, even though that's a true story.
Based on a true story, less believable than this.
I'm actually listening to it currently. Not right when we're podcasting.
Not now?
Not
Because
right
I don't
this very
see
second.
earbuds.
Well, her hair's down.
My hair's down. Oh, we both have our hair down today.
Yeah.
Look at us.
Oh,
Woo. No man buns here.
I
The
can
movie
fix it.
was rated R, surprisingly.
There's a lot of
but-
F-bombs going around.
Oh,
I
no,
don't think we
was-
see a nip.
There was no nip.
I was on Nerp Alert, and I didn't see one Nerp. You rated R? Flash a Nerp.
Even
please.
in Club Hell, there was a foot slip for you.
Oh, I know. Oh, I know.
And that's why it took him longer to watch the movie. He had to pause.
Pause, rewind, pause, rewind.
Go back 10 seconds.
Make a GIF.
So the people who wrote this movie, there was 3 people involved. Two of them are a writing team, and then presumably the other guy came in to do like rewrites or finish it, polish it up, whatever. Mm-hmm. But the main writers, Michael Berry and Jim Mulholland, wrote the Sylvester Stallone movie, I guess, Oscar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they
that's a
also-
movie. Come on now. It's not a good one, but it's a movie.
And they were writers for David Letterman also.
All right. That
So that's where
checks out.
Yeah, that's where the jokes are coming in, right? And then the action writer was Doug Richardson. He wrote Money Train. He wrote the second Die Hard
Money Train had a script? I saw that movie.
I thought it was just was it God damn it.
Woody Harrelson?
Yes. That was just Woody Harrelson and
Wesley
Snipes.
just yelling Money Train at each
Yeah.
other for 2 hours.
Well, pretty much they were like, White Men Can't Jump is pretty good. What if we had like, I don't know, another movie like Money Train? Ooh, let's go with that.
Did you see that they're doing a remake of White Men Can't Jump?
Yeah.
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 I don't know
Who's
how
it
I
with
feel
again?
about that.
Well, let me ask you this.
Some kid and some other guy.
Why? Why do we need a remake to that movie? Like, why? Why they call it White Men Can't Jump? He clearly can.
See, I'm jumping right now.
Yeah, fuck that whole jazz.
Yeah, I only saw like a promo image for it, and that's as far. I was like, no, thank you.
Yep. I heard about it and I was done.
Yeah. So anyway, this was his original. This is the beginning of Bay. So there's slightly less bassism, but surprisingly more misogyny.
Yes.
A lot
Definitely.
of. I mean, any scene with a female in it, aside from Martin Lawrence's wife,
They even make her bitchy.
Teresa Randall.
Well, and they also have her in like crop tops a lot too, and she's smoking hot. But yeah, it's very misogynistic.
Like,
with
everything
every other
is-
female gets it worse than she does.
Yeah,
for
in
sure.
in the clubs and on the beach and all the chase scenes and stuff. Every woman is wearing a bikini. The camera
Into
the
the
club,
movie.
the camera goes underneath their legs like fucking Big Lebowski.
Oh yeah, we get buttholes. We get there's material on them, but we get buttholes.
You're definitely getting some
No
muffs.
nerves, but plenty of holes.
No nerves, plenty of shellacked holes.
Gross.
Tia, what is her name? Tia.
Tia Carrera.
No, in this
Tia
movie.
Leoni.
Tia Leoni.
Tia Carrera
Love
is
her
much
with
better.
dark hair though. I've seen her with blonde hair, and
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
I
Keep
think
that
this
shit.
is the movie I give the most shits about her.
But she's in her underwear most of the movie,
Well,
except
or
for
skirt
one.
that-
underwear.
or
She's wearing
skirt
mini
that-
skirts.
Yeah.
Multiple
I mean,
miniskirts.
I wasn't that upset about it because she was doing it for me in this movie. But
Yeah. No,
just like a Michael Bay movie, every character is.
It's because that's what I would look like if I weighed 100 pounds.
She's got
Well,
like 75% legs.
Blue eyes and dark hair.
It was more the attitude than the look.
Oh, you like a bitchy vegan? A real preachy,
I didn't
bitchy
like the vegan
vegan
part. That was
Is that
annoying.
doing it for
but
you?
just her whole like, just shut the fuck up thing. I don't know.
You're gonna put that penis in
I mean,
me? There's a
look
lot
who
of
I
sodium
married.
on that penis. I don't want that salty little thing anywhere near me.
How much
Don't
flesh
worry,
you're eating
I'll
right
dip it
now?
in Coca-Cola first.
Dip it in my rum and coke, assumedly.
Oh.
This is also, in my opinion, like the first. This is the beginning of the Will Smith that we know.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yes.
mean,
Well, this
he's-
is his post. Well, I think it might have still been on, but it was just finishing.
I do
Fresh
believe it
Prince.
was still on, but yeah, it's the first big movie. I mean, we're kind of seeing the beginning of that Independence Day Will Smith. You know, you're not as charming as you think you are. Yes, I
Yeah.
am.
It was Independence Day '96.
Yeah.
Just the next year.
I want to say it was 95.
No. It
I was
95.
dating. I was dating somebody that I broke up with him in March of '96.
You keep track of time so strangely.
That's a lie. It was March of '97. So yes, it was '96. You are correct. Yes, I compared
she was-
time
she
with
was
who
a
I was
year
dating.
after I shit my pants, and that was in '94.
Wait.
how do you
No, the
keep
public
time?
one. Yeah,
So
'94.
the public shitting the pants. So
No, that
used
was
to-
2008. Taco Bell.
I used to keep,
celebrating Obama.
I used to keep time by like jobs, but then I had like 2 jobs, like this one that I have now, where I've been doing them for so long. I'm like,
Yeah.
It was either last year or 8 years ago.
I used to keep track by movies, and they stopped making good ones. I'm like, I don't fucking know. Did that come out in 2020 or 2023 or anything in the 20s?
Oh, speaking of 2020, that fucked up my whole timekeeping.
Oh my God, 2020 was 3 years long.
I have to remember. I'm like, wait, was that? No, that was BC.
before COVID.
Before COVID.
Oh, hey, racism. I just read another note that I had written, and it was related to the one the Don Simpson and Dana Carvey thing I was talking about. So the reason they went the way they did was because apparently Beverly Hills Cop was originally intended for Sylvester Stallone.
Oh.
And then they put Eddie Murphy in it, and it did very well. So in this case, they were like, well, this is intended for white people. They don't want to do it. Let's get some black guys. It worked for Beverly Hills Cop.
I gotta
so-
say, the Sly Stone to Eddie Murphy upgrade is a huge
Good
upgrade.
call.
Yeah.
And not in acting capability, just in that movie needs to have somebody much more comedic.
I can't laugh.
I
I
also-
was going to try. That was
I was like, did I have a
horrendous.
seizure?
Yes. Sorry, I'm working on an hour and like a half of sleep.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's fun shit.
That's your
So
fault.
they're driving around in this Porsche, and the sky looks like nukes just went off. Like the first section of this movie takes place in the world of Fallout.
So they're driving through Nagasaki.
I mean, I don't know what happened. I guess this beginning scene was done way after. It was like reshoots, so maybe like something was off. I don't know, but it was like, it looks like a hellscape. And they're driving this $105,000
Get my
Porsche.
dick size right, pal. I am driving my penis around.
And that's what I have is like, it's just a shiny dick with 2 chairs in it, and we're the balls dragging along.
No cup holders.
Where are the balls?
Yeah, they're arguing, and you know what? They're arguing about having food in the car. Don't have food in this car, man.
No, you can eat in like the station wagon that Martin Lawrence has later.
Yeah.
Eat in that all you want. This is $105,000 dick.
And
don't eat in his dick.
And he
100% don't.
drops the fries down, and they're having this whole argument, and I'm like, oh, that's, yeah. You shouldn't eat fries in the car.
That's why
I do.
don't eat in the car.
It's it's the beginning of Tommy Boy, you know, the M&Ms in the dash.
I think you'd be okay. They got a thin candy shell. Surprised you didn't know that. Brain's got a thick candy shell around it.
And they pull over to find this French fry, and these carjackers come, and they use a girl as a distraction. And we get Kim Coates. From our favorite Officer Down.
Giving more life to this tiny role than he ever did. He even says at one point, because he's like, man, you made a bad mistake. You pulled over cops.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like,
And
oh, yeah, you're a cop.
Comedian.
I'm a stand-up comedian, and I suck, which is why I need this fucking money.
By the way, Kim Coates, not credited.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Not.
Yeah, because the credits are in order of like appearance.
Uh-huh.
Except for Will Smith and Martin Lawrence aren't first, but like everybody else is in order of appearance. I think they're separate. But either way, it says carjacker, and it's got the other guy whose name I didn't get, but
He's one of the big linemen in Replacements.
yeah, he's in a bunch of stuff.
I know him from that.
He calls that guy a Popeye chicken eating motherfucker, and they're just arguing with each other as they do throughout this whole movie.
It's the
but
first of
got
many
a purpose.
arguments. It's as a child of divorce, it's awful.
Well, and like, my first thought was, I was like, oh, cool. It's like we're watching Ticket to Paradise again. It's just 2 people fucking nagging at each other for the next 2 hours.
This should be
But
fun.
at least it comes to something
Well,
and
yeah.
not just bullshit.
47% of their arguments lead up to them using it as a distraction to do something cool. But they're always arguing. Every word out of their mouths to each other is an argument, even when they're agreeing.
Yeah.
They're very contentious.
And then we go to the heist. And the first thing I saw was Lockdown show up at this thing. Because a guy walked up with his fucking night vision goggles. And I was like, did we just watch this movie?
I've seen this one before.
So they like kill a rent-a-cop somewhere or something. I don't... Because like later on they mentioned... I thought they shot a cop somewhere as a distraction. But later on Will Smith mentions it wasn't a real cop.
I think that they got a cop uniform and put it on somebody.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
you could
because he
be
was a
right too.
decoy.
Because
I know that, but I thought...
what's the rent-a-cop line if he's not?
Yeah, well, he doesn't
rent-a-
say rent-a-cop. He says they didn't shoot a real cop. So I just assumed I was like, was it a security guard?
So
or-
I want to say it was the other guy, the cop that was, kicked out. It was his old uniform because it fit that guy real tight.
I think they take those back. I don't think you get to keep those uniforms anymore.
I mean,
No, I need this for when I do my blackface cop Halloween costume.
Exactly.
Also, though, this starts like
How
this
many
is
uniforms you
this
get?
is a shit crew to work for now. Like this guy just shoots and everyone's looking at this. I think he's supposed to be French.
I was
bad guy?
getting
The-
Schwarzenegger vibes.
The bad actor.
Yeah. Wait, you're talking about the guy, the
main
lead
bad guy, Checky.
Cario.
Yeah.
Yes.
The actor's from Turkey, but I'm thinking this character's French. What's his name? Like
It's like Bouch.
Couture or something?
Right?
Fouché.
Fouché.
Oh,
so, but
that's
anyway, we see
French.
Fouché just kill one of these guys, throw him out the back, and the rest of these guys are all crew, and they're like, oh shit.
Get
Well, I
food
guess
fucked
let's
up.
keep working for this guy because that's cool.
Well, I
He has
mean,
no problem-
RoboCop.
He has no problem.
yeah,
killing
that's
people.
a good way to run a crew.
But I'm saying it happens in movies all the time. But yeah, that's how, like, at least in the movies, you keep your crew in line. It's your establishing dominance.
Right.
You kill the one who talks back or does whatever, and you shove him out, and you're like, anybody else want to join
This
him?
guy
And they're
didn't even
like,
talk
"No."
back. He was like,
I don't
I'm
even
part of
know.
the plan. He's like, yeah, you are. Pata!
Well, maybe he was like, late.
that was just his job. He was the decoy, but he didn't realize he was supposed to be
Last
shot.
one here has to be the decoy. Ah, damn.
This guy always shows up with bad breath. He never has enough gum for the whole class. So they go in, they're breaking in to somewhere, which I guess it turns out to be the police station. I
Yeah, we
if it's
don't know.
obvious from the
It looks like
beginning.
a bank at first, but then
It
it's
does.
not money.
And I did, before I even realized that they had robbed the police station later, my first note about the police station is this an old bank?
Yeah.
It does
It-
give that vibe off.
Yeah, it looks like the bank from The Mask. It's that very old, like the high ceilings and the big like vault kind of like wall in the back and like whatever. Maybe it is. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, maybe they shot at one, but I'm not really familiar with the goings on of Miami PD.
This is the bank from the Italian Job.
Is it?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, because we do see.
It could
I don't know
be.
if anybody caught it. I'm jumping way ahead, but we do see the hair salon in Pain and Gain in this.
Is it the same
Yes.
hair
Yep.
salon?
It is.
Like it is fucking identical. So if it is a set, you're just like, let's do that again.
It's a Michael Bay set.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in his backyard probably.
Mm-hmm.
They were using locations around his house for Pain and Gain and for this. So
Oh, okay. So it's his hair salon.
It is. I wouldn't doubt that. How do you think he affords the coke?
Oh, I thought he had a spray tan salon called Baytan.
Baytan.
So we could figure out where Michael Bay lives by watching these movies.
Ooh.
Just map the locations. I don't
I
want to
think
know.
I think we should just blow his house up. He'd appreciate
and
that.
record it and air it at his funeral.
He'd be very upset though, because he'd be like, "Those are real explosions. There's no CG here at all."
Then he kills himself. That's how he's dead.
Oh shit!
So these guys are stealing some drugs that were apparently produced by Hostess,
Okay.
because they're just like wrapped in foil,
Foil?
like the fucking
Oh, ding dong.
ding dongs.
The
Yeah,
old school ding dong.
Now I want a ding dong. Thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
Well, they're not wrapped in foil anymore, so
I
they're not
know.
good.
Real let down.
Yeah.
I like those little metallic pucks.
That's the first thing I thought when I saw those. I was like, by Hostess?
I can concur. He did verbalize that.
I don't think that we're far enough away from a future where Hostess will make heroin and it will be legal. Wait till we're like truly dystopian, man. It's gonna be great.
Organ's on its way.
Oh, Oregon.
So speaking of organs,
Dynamite segue. That's a winner.
Martin Lawrence wakes up with morning wood, and
Oh,
his
yeah.
wife incredibly rudely says, "No, we're not going to have sex," and then climbs over him to get out of the bed.
Don't.
Whitney?
Derek said, "I'm gonna tell you right now. If you don't want to have sex, don't climb over me."
Take the long way.
I'm not saying that I'm going to have sex whether you want to or not. This isn't Melrose Place. What I'm saying is that's rude.
This isn't a
Yes.
Michael Bay movie.
Will Smith shows up to Martin Lawrence's house. It's breakfast time, and he starts talking about banging chicks in front of the kids,
Salaciously.
Yes.
Like, I mean, he is just ready to drop some dirty deets.
which he then turns around later when he's with the family, and he's telling them stories about a pimp, and he's like, "Yeah, Chico was running girls. Your dad will tell you about
He's
that."
running hose up, and now your dad will tackle that. How about you don't tell this story, Mike Lowry? Come on.
Lowry.
I thought it was funny too. Speaking of saying it that way, when Martin Lawrence is pretending to be Will Smith on the phone, he's like, "This is Mike Lowry," and then fucking Joey
Joe
Pants is
did-
like, "That's not how he sounds." And I was
You
like,
gotta sound sexier than him.
okay, that's a fair note. But when he says that's not how he sounds, that's exactly how he sounds.
That's exactly how he says it. Joey Pants in this movie, by the way. Oh, thank
God.
God you're here.
I
Yeah,
love
he was
you.
great. So very young Joey Pants. I mean, he's
Still
still
holding on to
balding,
hairline.
but he's got hair. I was just surprised to see him. I was like,
Yeah.
because I mean, we're talking Matrix is 5 years later, and it's 4 years later, and I mean, I know he shaved his head, but I'm pretty sure he was just bald from then on. Mm-hmm. Like he shaved it for that movie, and that was it.
And he's like, "Hey, I don't hate it."
It won't come back.
Like, he saw himself shaved. He's like, that's a good look. Bruce Willis was onto something.
Yes.
For anybody out there, don't hold on to it, man. Do not be a Terry Hulk Hogan. Do not be a
Ooh.
Steven Seagal. Do
Just
not be a
embrace it.
John Travolta. It's
Well, he finally
embrace
shaved
it,
it.
man. Be it. Well, did he? Did he finally?
Yeah,
Oh,
he's-
okay.
If you see those
Oh.
new like T-Mobile commercials where he's doing the Grease
That's
song
right.
with Zach Braff and
He was hanging out
Donald
with
Faison.
Pitbull, and he's like, "Hey, it's a good look."
Dude, he should have just held on to it.
Yeah.
Sorry, but he looks like he's
Or hear me out, hats. John Travolta.
What is a hat?
It's this wonderful little thing that goes on your head that covers up your baldness.
I don't think he would look good in a hat.
John Travolta
Wouldn't
right
look
now
worse.
looks more like a villain from a comic book than he did when he was a villain in Punisher.
I was gonna say like Face Off.
No,
Broken Arrow.
because in Punisher he was the bad Punisher,
The one I refused to watch.
the one with
Got it.
Tom
Highlander.
Tom Jane.
Jane. Yeah,
Not with Highlander. That's Christopher
Highlander.
Lambert.
Oh, I swear to Tom.
Christopher Lambert, Tom Jane.
They're like twins. Okay.
Well, one's American, one's like French Scandinavian.
Tomato.
It's tomato potato.
I don't have a Tom Jane, by the way. I just want my kids back.
Here's my Tom Jane. I'm white.
That's pretty good.
Did you ever watch the show The Expanse?
Oh yeah, I do like him in that.
Yeah,
He's killer in that.
Amazing in
No,
that.
nothing bad about Tom Jane, but he's just not in this movie.
No, I was like, pull it from there.
He's not.
Oh, true. Sorry.
So
No, don't be
digress.
sorry.
Joey Pants shows up. He plays Captain Howard. If anybody doesn't know, we're talking about Joe Pentagliano. Do you say the G?
No.
Pentagliano.
It's a Pantaleano.
It's Pantaleon.
Oh, there you go.
In lots of movies. Most people will know him as Cyrus from The Matrix. Cypher. Cyrus is the other one. Or is that a different movie?
Cyrus is John Malkovich.
Malkovich, yeah.
And
Con Air.
Con Air, yeah.
I did that on another episode when I was trying to reference John Malkovich, and I think I called him Cypher.
Well, I mean, we got two bald white guys with great facial hair. Like, I'm not blaming you for casting them together.
Phenomenal actors.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
absolutely.
Being John Malkovich alone is hands down one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
Like Joey Pants was also in Memento, which is a great movie.
Yeah.
And currently, he's on Tacoma FD, which is a really funny show.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's the captain. He's pretty fucking terrific,
He's the,
He's the
chief,
dad.
yeah.
Fire
Yeah,
chief.
he's the dad of, Kiss the Shelf.
Mm-hmm.
I said
But
chef,
he's doing.
not
I think
shelf.
he's doing great work
Kiss
in
the
this movie.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Kiss the
I
Shelf.
kind of remembered this movie more fondly.
Yeah.
I have great fond memories. I've already said it before. Me and Alan were roommates, and this was like our go-to movie every Sunday. We would get drunk and literally recite the whole fucking movie.
Oh, see, I didn't have that kind of memory to it. Mine was just more like I watched it a couple times when it came out, and then a couple times, on DVD or streaming, whatever, and thought it was pretty terrific. And then this time watching it, I was like, man, this is kind of a snooze until there's shit blowing up. And there's not a lot of humor between the main characters that's sticking to me this time.
I get it.
I think the big thing that made it so popular and kept it going is like the magnetism, like the charisma of the two leads.
Yeah.
But it's not. Yeah, it was kind of irritating, like their whole thing. But they do have like personalities that you just like. I'm gonna keep watching this.
Yeah, and Martin Lawrence is doing the kind of like dumb guy from time to time. Like marriage has made him stupid or something.
I mean, he's
making
doing
those
his character
faces.
from Martin.
Martin. Yeah, I was going to say he's doing Martin.
Which was still at this point, I think, pretty much one of the biggest like sitcoms on TV at the time. I'm pretty sure now.
So if you are the director,
not right now, but right now in the movie,
At the time of this movie, yeah.
So if you are the director, you're like, just do that.
Yeah,
Do what got you here, please.
Make the faces.
So we also meet Allison Sinclair, who's barely in this movie, that played by was it Marg Helgenberger?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
from
isn't she
CSI?
CSI?
Yeah,
Like she is CSI because
She's-
she's been
she
in
is
every
the
single
CSI.
one, hasn't she?
So is she internal affairs here? Is that what she's?
yeah.
is
She's
that what she's
IA,
doing?
and she basically is just there to say words every couple of minutes or every
Because she,
couple of
she
scenes,
thinks
and
it's an
then-
inside job because it is kind of outrageous that the way that they did this, they went through a fucking air duct tunnel that was put in to vent toxic fumes from drugs.
Yeah, because I guess heroin wrapped in Hostess wrappers puts off toxic fumes. I feel like you could be in a room with packaged heroin and be fine.
Sign me up to test.
I will.
No
let
track
you.
marks. All right.
I don't know a lot about heroin.
I know more, but less.
So yeah, she's IA. She thinks it's an inside job, and literally, like, we could do her whole storyline right now. She's like, "Hey, Joey Pants, it's an inside job. Figure it out, or I'm going to shut you down." Later on,
Too many dead
there's
bodies.
stuff going on, and there's dead people. Later on, you're all shut down.
Also,
The end.
you missed to insert a minor sexual tension that these two don't seem to be aware of. Joey Pants and the internal affairs chick, but everybody else is like, God, why can't they just bang already? Like, I didn't get that.
I didn't get that vibe at all.
I can typically pick up on that pretty well.
Can you?
Yeah, if you're putting it down.
So we also meet Sanchez and Ruiz, and I was gonna go back and write down who the actors are. I recognize both of them.
Yeah, and you
but I
would.
feel like it's just those guys.
I
They're
want to
like
say
big
they're in all
character
three.
actors.
No.
Oh, they might be.
No, the two cops in the next one are much more Puerto Rican.
Okay.
Much more Cuban.
Cuban.
Cool.
No, I think one of them actually is the guy from the Seinfeld episode I referenced in one of these episodes. Like, put on the ribbon. I think it's the same fucking guy.
Yeah, they're like the rival team who's not as good.
Good guy foils?
Well, like you get in, like the other guys, which is like a spoof of this whole kind of thing, right? They're like the other cops that are always like talking shit in the background, but not really doing it. Like they're fine cops.
Yeah.
They're not corrupt. They're not whatever.
We're just not focused on them.
But they're just like, they're not as cool. They're not as showboaty as the main
And it's
cops.
a loving rivalry.
Yeah.
You know, look at a little good jawing back and forth. But
I mean, they definitely got each other's backs when it comes to it.
chips are on the table. I'll drive a dump truck.
You're going to
with you.
die.
Oh, there's no chips on the table. You got me all excited. You can't tell a fat guy there's chips on the
We
table.
can't have you crunching again.
Can I do a quick shout out to Alan? Because I love that bastard. And he doesn't live here anymore. So shout out to Alan and your wife and your daughter. I miss you. And here's for you, buddy.
So next we see who I thought was going to be this one scene, but he comes back, Michael Imperioli. From,
Oh, yeah. Well, he does
Sopranos.
come back.
Yeah, he does come back. I thought this was going to be it, though. Like, they're questioning him, and I was like, hey, that's, what'd you say, Cousin Soprano?
Yeah, cousin, little baby cousin Soprano.
Yeah. Yeah, this is early work for him.
And he's actually pretty good. He, like, this scene
I mean,
that
it's
does
after The
nothing.
Sopranos.
No, it's not.
Wasn't The
Sopranos started in 99 or 2000.
Yeah.
I thought that shit started in 90.
No. It's like 2000.
James
Damn.
Gandolfini wouldn't have filled that role out.
No?
He would have been thin back then.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know.
Probably.
I'm guessing. I was
Are
thin
we
back
all...
then.
What do I get my
Everybody-
timelines
isn't
crossed?
everybody thinner and then gets fatter?
Yeah, isn't that how that works?
I mean, I just
Until
got
you
fatter
get-
this year, so.
Until you get to a certain age, and then you get thinner again, and then
Unless you got
just
that
disappear.
Oprah money.
So yeah, Michael Imperioli, he does come back later, and he's actually pretty funny later on. Right now, he doesn't do anything. They're like questioning him, but
Yeah, he's like an ex-con kind of.
I'm in the
like
rubber
a-
now.
like a
Reluctant
CI.
informant.
Yeah. Oh, they go to the gym, and he's Will Smith is going to talk to this
Max.
working girl that we don't know is a working girl. He's like, hey, we need to get some information. Maybe you could tell me about some of your clients or whatever. And I'm like, people who go to the gym? Like,
Heck
I thought
yeah.
she ran the gym. Maybe she does, because they go into an office. I don't know. But she turns out she's a hooker.
By night.
Yes, Hooker by Night, just like that Marvel movie. They just killed Werewolf by Night, but
This is the follow-up. Or the prequel, rather.
there was another person in this scene who has no lines. She was the one who watches Martin Lawrence try to lift weights and then crush himself.
Oh, yeah.
I only bring it up because of you, Jack.
Oh.
Her name is Fawn Reed, and she is in First Kid. So
Oh,
it's a Sinbad
God, yes.
movie.
Fucking love me some. Who
She's
is she
also-
in First Kid?
I didn't write down the name. She had a name, though.
Okay.
Like, she's a character with a name. But I saw she was in First, because I kind of recognized her. Saw she was in First Kid. She's also in Kazam, kind of speaking of Sinbad.
Yeah, depending on
Depending
what
on which
universe you're
universe.
from. Quick, tell me, did you see Kazam or Shazam?
Shazam.
Which large black man did it have?
I had Sinbad.
Oh, you're not from
So
this
no,
fucking
okay,
planet.
so I real
Apparently.
quick sidebar
this is
about
like
this whole
this is
thing.
like Fringe.
This whole thing with this Shazam Kazam thing. I hear some people who get really mad and they're just like, it's just because people are racist and they can't tell the difference between two black guys. But I distinctly remember, and it was before anybody mentioned anything about this conspiracy. I knew Kazam.
Yeah.
Because I say Shazam and I talk about it and people are like, you're
Kazam,
thinking of
Shaquille
Kazam.
O'Neal.
I'm like, no, I know about Kazam. I remember Kazam, Shaquille O'Neal. I saw it. It was terrible. I hope I never have to watch it again, but now I'm doing this, so we'll see.
It's on the docket.
But I distinctly remembered a movie with Sinbad called Shazam. He had the little thing wrapped around his head, kind of a turban, but
Yeah.
no, it was a racist 90s turban.
The turban
Yeah.
was racist? Like it had
Yeah,
really
the turban
bad
itself,
jokes?
It was actually taken off of Ahmed the Dead Terrorist, so it was a racist one. It was Jeff Dunham's racist turban. But I distinctly remembered it, and then somebody brought that up to me, and I was like, yeah, Shazam, blah, 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 this movie, and they were like, no, that didn't happen. And I was like, yeah, it did. And then that's how I found out about the whole
Mandela
effect thing.
I have no Shazam recollection. I have no Sinbad Shazam.
So you're prime.
What's your blood type?
I'm prime. I don't know.
I have a feeling that there's a theory that type O blood are aliens.
Oh, I'm
we can
definitely
time
not
travel.
type O.
And I am type O.
Or universe
And you
travel.
are type O.
Yeah, we can do universe travel. Don't tell
Well,
everybody
if
our
you
blood
see,
types.
if
They're
you
going to come
see,
kill us.
if you see Jack from another universe, just pop him in the mouth. I'm sure he's got it coming.
Probably.
You just
Not
give
pop him
that.
somewhere
You
else?
give that ginger a good 1-2 right in the face.
So they go to this house to find this dead body. I mean, they go looking for a guy. They find a dead body.
We need a dead body.
But
We gotta
wanna-
find it fast.
I just want to point out, they rang the doorbell. It was like, ding dong. Well, no one's home. Like, the bell hadn't even stopped
Yeah.
like echoing
This is
yet.
a big house, dude. This is a big fucking house. Maybe they're upstairs.
And I mean,
But that's what windows are for.
Well, I know they were trying to justify breaking into the house.
Yeah.
Because it was like, ding dong, not home.
Which this is a time where when we're watching this as an audience, we're like, oh man, that's funny. They forced their way in, pretending to the door. Now I'm watching, I'm like, you guys are fucking asshole, breaking and entering cops, just stepping on my rights.
Be careful. You're going to go in there. There's going to be a black guy. You're going to kill him. He's the wrong guy.
They don't even
this
wait
is-
for you to open the door now. They're just shooting you through the door.
That's true.
And this is when we get the
Oh, wrong house? My bad.
take some bass out of your voice. We got to. This
Yeah.
would have been better with Eddie Murphy because it would have been that whole. We're not going to fall for no banana tailpipe.
Hey, come in here to get a cup of brown sugar.
Oh, do you have some brown sugar?
I don't know.
We're your
Martin's.
neighbors.
Why does mine sound like Butters and yours sounds like Eddie Murphy?
I don't know, man.
I don't know. Martin has a great line. Like, of course, Will Smith says his line.
Yeah.
Did you say Markson?
I said
No, she just
Martin.
put a hard
Oh,
T on it.
okay.
Martin.
That's
It's
right.
like
I
when she
forgot you
says
have your-
button.
Yeah. Sorry.
Martin.
There you go.
It's only one T.
Now you
so
sound
it's
like
fine.
you're from this universe.
Marn.
Marm.
But he does the fun, like, trying to quote unquote Caucasian his voice up.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's pretty funny.
That's what I'm doing. I like his. His is fine. Can we borrow a cup of brown sugar? But I just think Eddie Murphy would have fucking ripped this.
And
Yeah,
instead
he
of
would.
sounding like a black actor doing a making fun of white people voice, he kind of just sounds like an English actor trying to be an American.
Right? I mean, Dave Chappelle's
Let's
is
watch
really
some
good.
baseball. American apple pie.
Let's get a Big Mac, you guys. You know what they call a... Never mind.
You know what they call a quarter pound of cheese? Sorry.
That's what I was going
I
for.
figured.
So they touch...
Royale with cheese.
But there's a bunch of race jokes in a row here. And then
There really are.
In this movie?
And then they go in and they find a dead body, and Martin Lawrence hates it. He's grossed out. He's trying not to throw up, which, I don't believe. Fucking Will Smith is just like, what's wrong with you, man? Every time we see a dead body, and it's like, calm the fuck down. It's a dead body.
Yeah.
It's gross. It's
Yeah.
been here for at least a day.
And
if
Martin
not-
Lawrence
and
says-
it's Miami.
He says, we're not homicide. Oh, let's talk about that stink.
Yeah, right?
Like, that's a balmy city you're talking about.
Yeah.
But he even says, he's like, man, we're not fucking homicide. We're narcotics.
Yeah.
You should not be finding that many dead bodies if
Also,
you're doing your job right.
when you find the dead body, you call
call
somebody else
homicide.
to come in and make a crime scene set
Yep.
up instead of touching everything in the fucking room.
With
Moves
no
the leg-
fucking gloves.
Moves the fucking leg,
Yeah.
like changes position, takes that knife that's in his hand, lifts it up, grabs a paper under, drops it, like
Which isn't even important. He
Yeah.
pulls out this paper that he can't read because it's covered in blood.
Yep.
Martin Lawrence is touching every paper on the floor and crawling around. You guys killed this person.
this case is
Digging
getting
in-
thrown out, dude.
Digging in the pockets, grabbing the wallet. Like, their fingerprints and DNA are all over this
I thought
fucking
he was
scene.
gonna try and jack him off.
Yeah, there was
Hey,
a
watch
lot of...
watch the front door. You know what we do. We find dead bodies.
Sit on it. Rigor mortis.
Rigor mortis, I don't think applies to the penis.
Yeah.
Let's find out.
They get erections.
Neat.
You've seen Clerks.
Well, yeah, but that's a Kevin Smith movie. That's a fantasy world.
Yeah, no. There's definitely a saying called "When a man gets hanged, he gets well hung."
Fun. So we find out that Marcus...
Interesting.
Wait,
You're welcome.
Will Smith. We find out that Will Smith is a rich kid.
Oh yeah,
He's
Trust fund,
a
baby.
trust fund baby, and he's like, I just want to be a cop. But Tea Leoni calls it later when she's talking to Martin Lawrence, thinking he's Will Smith.
So you have all this money.
Yeah, you're a
Adrenaline junkie.
Adrenaline junkie, yeah. Because he's like, I just want to be a cop. I've always wanted to help people, and it's like, no, you just want to blow.
Because
Because
this is argument number 510, doesn't matter, where he's like, I'm not a trust fund baby. I need this job. I'm not playing cop like you, like
Yeah.
everyone says you are. And he's kind of being an asshole for a partner. I'm like, dude, even if you hear this at the station, don't say this shit to your partner like that. It's just a dick fucking move.
100%. But I think that just goes to show their like camaraderie, that they are brothers at this point.
because
Like,
they talk about how they've known each other
that
for their
they
whole
literally
lives.
grew
Yeah.
up
So
together.
Yeah, I understand
I mean, he
that, which
does
means you
follow-
shouldn't say this shit to even more.
He does follow it up with telling Will Smith, I love you, man, and he's like, fuck you, Marcus.
Yeah, fucking Marcus. And the whole time he's just like saying shit under his breath. He's like, I'm there for you, man. I'll die with you. I don't know. Whatever you want, man.
Just take care of my family.
Yeah, I mean, you're my best friend, and I love you. And you shut up, you fucking gay. I'm not gay, bro.
Oh, we have some deep homophobia
Yeah.
in this movie.
I mean, this
Little
scene's
bit.
the first one. There's at least two more.
Like
off
if
the top of my head.
everybody in this movie is trying to prove how hetero they are. All the
Yes.
males anyway. The chicks are allowed to be gay
Well-
in a Michael Bay universe. Chicks are encouraged to
Well,
be
because
bisexual.
the 90s / Michael Bay universe is high school kids. Like it's
Yeah.
it's like, oh man, lesbians are cool, but gays are stupid. Like
They're all jocks. These are all lettermen
Yeah.
that got out of high school, didn't go to college. They decided to become cops.
23 minutes into the movie, they say "bad boys"
Woo!
and then they sing it.
Yeah.
Bad boys, bad boys.
Ooh, put this on a Giuseppe for best titular song.
I mean,
Tit.
I'm 5.
So this is when we find out Max is a hooker. Her like madam person is like, hey, she's basically trying to find somebody.
Hooker is not the preferred nomenclature.
Thank
Woman
you.
of the evening, please.
exactly.
No,
Escort,
she's an
please.
escort. She's a
an
sex
escort.
worker. You know.
But I mean, whatever. I'm not saying hooker as a
I
derogatory
know they
thing.
they say hooker a lot in this movie.
Yeah.
I'm just poking fun and trying to throw a Big Lebowski line in there. And it looks like she doesn't have a pimp. It looks like she's going to a madam, so
Yeah.
maybe she's in charge of her own clients, and that's fucking
and
amazing.
she's actually like going in there and she's like, hey, are there any new people who are like partying a little extra or whatever? Because she's trying to help Mike Lowry, Will Smith, and you know, she's doing a thing, and like lady's like, oh yeah, maybe there's these people, it would pay you a lot. Okay, cool. It's like a very like whatever.
Yeah.
You don't want to go, don't go.
She
So-
also says, now we're at the point where the lady says, I've got a client that's desperate for some entertainment.
Yeah.
Bring your friend. Oh, but she's not.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be hanging out with my friend Julie. Yeah, bring her with you.
She's not an escort. This guy is so fucked up on speedballs, he probably can't even get it up.
You can't
It's a
bring a
hard risk.
friend. You
Yeah.
can't bring a friend
Yeah.
to a hooker session.
Yeah.
No.
I'm sorry, but like, you don't show up at work with your friend. Like, well, we were supposed to be hanging out. You guys called me in, so my friend's gonna come here and stand next to me while I cashier for the next 8 hours.
I mean, I
You
told
can't
you.
do it when you're gonna go suck someone off.
The only way this works is if you're a bartender and you're like, hey, sit at the bar and get drunk while I work all day. Now your friend's having a great time.
Yeah, but they're
Amber
also
does
spending
it.
money.
Amber does it for me all the time. She, in fact, like came to work with me on Friday and then helped me in the bar.
Yeah, but we're talking about like a real job, not like our job.
No, I'm saying bar is the
Our
only
jobs.
one. Bar's the only one this works, really.
Yeah, you're not even a restaurant because then they're just taking up a table.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get
Damn.
the fuck out.
So Tia Leoni is playing Julie Mott, who is the friend of Max and ends up being the witness to all of this stuff. She sees Checky Cario. She sees the miscellaneous Goonies.
Hey, from now on, they're the
And
Goonies.
Goonies.
She's
I'm
like, I saw them
Goonies
all.
never they die.
I saw them all. There was Sean Astin. There was
One of the Corys.
Brolin.
I'm not good with which one it was. There was definitely a Corey
all
there.
Corys look the same.
there was
I
a
think
Data.
Martha Plimpton was involved, but I'm not sure if she was an official Goonie.
That kid from fucking
Indiana
Indiana Jones
Jones.
was there because Indiana Jones exists in this world.
Yeah, right.
So anyway.
He's the kid from Everything Everywhere All at Once. So
Yeah,
he
Everything Everywhere
slid
All at
into
Once.
this
That-
DM.
yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Dimension. DM is short for
This
dimension.
dimension.
Slide into your DMtions.
So this guy is acting like super coked out, and he's just got this like fucking hostess brick torn open with
And
like
it looks
chunks
like
taken
coke.
out of it. I mean, white powder heroin is.
He's
white
acting
powder
like
also.
coke. I mean, he's taking a little fingerful and just
yeah, and he's just
a
snorting it,
bunch.
which you
A bunch.
can do.
yes. But
I mean,
not
I've
this-
never done it, but I've seen Requiem for a Dream.
but I've also seen Pulp Fiction. But yeah, I think this guy'd be dead with the amount of
Probably.
times he's
But
dipping
he's
in
also,
the candy jar.
He's like grinding his jaw, and he's like
Yeah, no,
super hyped
he's
up
just
and like
Coke
coked
sweats.
out.
Yeah, I feel like it was supposed to be Coke, and then somewhere along the line they were like, I don't know, Coca-Cola paid for a sponsorship of this movie. They were like, let's just call it
Oh
heroin.
no, I think they're like Coke in Miami. It's not going to get that much attention.
Look, everybody's already seen Scarface.
This is old news.
I feel like it makes more sense though.
Coke does, yeah.
I mean,
but
Coke
then
makes
they-
more sense than heroin in a lot of ways. But
I know, but maybe for the ether part, because
Sure. I don't cut drugs.
yeah, I also don't know
I
anything
don't
about
do
that.
drugs either.
I also
Yeah.
don't know anything about that. You're cutting it with ether. I always was under the impression that when you're cutting something, like you take a white powder and you add another white powder to it,
Baby
and it makes
laxative.
more. You don't take a white powder and put liquid in it.
Okay,
To
so
make more.
Actually, yeah, you do kind of do that because it breaks it down, and then they even go. The chemist even explains it that you break it down, but then it dries out, so it's causing more powder, and it turns into a powder, but it's too humid.
Apparently you can
so
get-
it's taking longer.
You can bake ether to be more.
Yes.
Well, you know what though? I've seen it done with ketamine.
Exactly.
Where you pour it in a
That's-
liquid form and you dry it out and it powders.
Yes.
So
you have to do it over.
I'm sure though
overnight.
they probably didn't give you an exact way of doing it here because that would be irresponsible of Michael Bay. Like,
Well-
here's how I'd cut heroin.
That would also imply that the guys, that the guys who wrote Oscar and the guy who wrote Die Hard 2 did their in-depth research of how real things work in the real world.
It's like in Fight Club when they tell you how to make a bomb. They don't exactly tell you how to make a fucking bomb,
But I know it involves soap.
but it involves.
All I know is if I watch Breaking Bad one more time, I can probably make meth.
Would it be blue though?
Hopefully.
All right.
That's how you know it's good,
That's why
bitch.
you use food coloring.
Hey, you know it's good, bitch.
So anyway, Max gets killed. This dude gets killed.
In the Al Capone suite, by the way.
Yes, with the
this
secret
guy's
passages
very
and-
proud. I thought that was going to come up more.
Yeah. As
He's
soon
like-
as he said secret passages, I was like, oh, cool. Chekhov's gun,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
No.
right. I don't know if there is a Chekhov's gun in this fucking movie.
I don't. They're bickering.
Maybe the handcuff key, but like it's
I don't know.
But that's even barely. That's like one scene.
that's
to the
yeah. I was gonna
next.
say that's a 10-minute long
Yeah.
thing. I don't know. I don't
Patrick
think
texted me today and said that he saw an example of Putin's pineapple in a children's cartoon, and I was like, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, that text doesn't make a lot of sense to other people.
I'm gonna say something to do with
SpongeBob
SpongeBob.
oh.
I don't know, that's what I was assuming because it's a pineapple.
under
I
the
was-
sea.
I was thinking maybe if someone just reads that sentence out of nowhere, they're like, Putin's a swinger?
Yeah.
Well, no, I was
Upside down
thinking
pineapple?
of South Park.
He said children's cartoon, though.
Isn't South Park a children's cartoon?
Your child.
Yeah, my child.
I mean, I watched it as a young
My
teenager,
grandson
and that
also.
caused
Yeah.
me some problems.
Yeah.
I mean,
my
look at me now.
grandson. That's his favorite freaking cartoon.
And I had to watch the bad ones when it was all about fart jokes. I didn't even get to watch the good political commentary. and
Yeah,
stuff.
no, that's when I was like, why is this? Why does everybody love this? It's fucking stupid.
Well, that's why I was
But
perfect.
if you aged with it, you were
Like,
stupid
exactly.
too.
I was perfect for it because I was 12, I think, when it started.
Yeah.
So I was like, that elephant fucked a pig. Ha. And then I
I
grew
was-
up and I was like, that's stupid. And I watched it again and I was like, oh, wow, this show got smarter. So did
Yeah.
I.
I was 16,
They grew up.
though.
We grew up.
And I was like not into it. I was also doing other things with my life than watching.
You say that a lot. You're like, I had friends. I was doing fun things. Well, you know what? I watched stuff.
Weird flex.
Weird flex. I had friends.
I
well,
was
you know
so-
what? I
Look
didn't.
at me.
You were social also.
By force, not because I wanted to.
You said back then you were out all the time.
I was all the
Oh,
time.
by force.
Yeah.
So you
my
were
social
raped
anxiety.
socially?
My social anxiety forces me to be active. I hate it. I can't stand it.
So I absorbed all of your anxiety last night so you could get a good night's sleep, and I was up all night
Yep.
with anxiety. So
Yep.
there you go. I did that
Also,
for
I
you.
watched that good porn.
Yeah, you did.
It's
I
just a
didn't.
videotape of me masturbating.
I could get into that.
titled-
Of myself,
titled-
not you.
It's titled Good Porn.
It's titled.
It's just a remake of that movie with Robert Pattinson, Good Time, but he's naked the whole time.
I'm down.
I was popping in my VHS. Yeah, I said that. And it said, good pornin'. Viet Palm.
Because you can put it in. Did you rewind it?
Like to tease myself. You cut all that, dude.
So Tea Leoni jumps off the roof of this building. They see her. They're chasing her. She jumps off the roof of this building into this pool. It's like 7 stories.
I do want to say some quite generic goons. Like I like them,
yeah.
but this is like this does not look like any sort of specific family. And
No.
he says my family.
One
So-
of these goons, and I don't know if he's in this scene or if it's just the later one.
Is it the mustache guy?
I
Yes.
didn't notice until later. I was like, Ben Stiller from Happy Gilmore or Billy Madison. Sorry.
Billy Madison.
So this is an actor I like. I want to say it's like John Frank Hughes.
No,
Like,
it would
it's-
be Happy Gilmore with
It's
the grandma.
not worth looking up, but he also is. I've always just liked this actor. He's in Band of Brothers, the HBO miniseries about World War II. Fantastic.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Worth a watch if you're in the mood for World War II shit. But he's in that, and fuck, I saw him in a couple other things. But I just always enjoyed his face. But then in this, he's got that goofy fucking mustache. It's like, he ruined it.
So she jumps off and somehow gets away. This pool isn't more than 10 feet deep.
Yeah.
You jump 60 stories, you hit the pool, you die.
Yeah, you're
60
you're at
stories?
least-
Sorry, 6 stories.
60
60 feet.
You're at least breaking an ankle or
Yeah,
tailbone, depending how you
You're
land.
getting a fucking pool enema, dude.
Yeah.
Well, and not
You're
only did she
s-
jump in and survive, but by the time they get to the other end of the roof, she's gone.
Yeah.
So she got in the water, got out of the water, and ran away.
Michael Phelps.
I mean, I guess that's the benefit of always wearing like those mini skirts is because you don't have all this weight on your legs.
Oh, if she would have had a full dress, man. She's still in that pool drowning in it.
Right?
Well, she was wearing like a slinky dress. It's like it makes her very aerodynamic.
Yeah.
Not slinky like the dog from Toy
I wouldn't
Story.
mind hearing her stories about working with Michael Bay.
Yeah, I would love to know.
I wonder if she's got anything. Tea Leoni, though, has kind of always been, and from what I know, quiet. Like, she's not really a limelight type of chick for being a movie star.
Yeah.
So
Fair enough.
I don't think she would have said anything. She just wanted to keep working. And then didn't she marry David Duchovny?
I thought so.
What a
Because right before Californication came out, right? Because that was a whole thing. He really was a sex addict.
Yeah, I don't think
That
it's
sounds
worth
right. I don't
our
know.
brains knowing, but that's what's in there.
So my next note says Sad Willie style.
Look at a sad Will Smith.
Oh, because the Max got killed, and
Yeah.
he's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"I'm gonna go and do this by myself. I'm good, man. I'll see you later," or whatever. He's all emo.
And
But
It's
then
so
he
fucking
gets his ass
stupid though
kicked.
too. Because if I'm Martin Lawrence, I'm like, no, partner, I'm with you.
Correct.
Like you're going somewhere to check something out. I'm with you.
yeah,
That's
Because
it.
then Martin Lawrence gets mad at him later, like, "Why didn't you take your partner with you?" Like, because you let him go,
No, he had to stay and do paperwork.
and make 2 phone calls at the same time.
Yeah.
Which, like an idiot, he's on the phone. He's got both up to his ears, both by his mouth. He kind of moves it away, but
Yeah.
it's like phones can still hear you. And he's trying to tell his wife how he has to stay at work, and he's asking this other guy for paperwork, and he tells the other guy he's a fucking idiot or whatever. And his wife's like,
screw
"You talking to
yourself."
me? Yeah, screw yourself." And he's like, "No, I'm not talking to you." And then instead of saying I was talking to somebody else, he says, "No, it's like it's police lingo. Like we say screw you all the time." Like,
This is left over from Martin.
yeah, stop lying. Every
Yeah.
word out of his mouth is a lie, and they're not even for a reason.
Yep.
I'm so angry at that. I was like, why can't he just say, spoiler alert, why can't he just fucking say, hey, I have to take care of this witness. Mike is going to be here for you.
This whole movie is a series of we didn't explain. Like you just said,
Yeah, and I
tell
hate
your wife.
that. I hate
Yeah.
that in movies where it's like just the people just don't. That's the whole Meet the Parents,
Uh-huh.
all that kind of like genre of
You
comedy.
tell
where
your
it's
wife,
like,
who should know because she's been married to a narcotics officer.
Yeah.
This is what I have to do, yada, yada. Now, I'm going to fast forward just a pinch. I'm sure you're trying to get there, but we're impeding it. When Tea Leoni finally calls and Joey Pants is like, oh, Mike Lowry's on his way. He's coming right now, and gives the phone to Martin Lawrence.
Yeah.
He's like, pretend to be him. Sure, she's about to hang up if you don't talk to him. That's fine. But as soon as you meet her, be like, yo, I'm actually his partner. We couldn't find him. You know, look, this is his house. I'm not him.
Yeah.
Explain it really quickly.
well, and
Yeah.
she turns out to be the reasonable one because she figures this out on her own.
Real
Spoiler
fast.
alert.
Real
Well, I don't know
fucking
about
fast.
real
Well,
fast. It was like an
no,
hour and 20
she
minutes.
knew
into the
right
movie.
away. No, she doesn't let the viewers know, but she knows right away when she's
I don't
left there
think she
alone, and
knows.
she's like, "That's Mike Lowry."
she just keeps prodding the
And
entire
once she
time.
meets, I mean, because she saw all the pictures, and then once she meets Will Smith, I think that's when she puts it together. Really,
The first time she
But, like,
meets
I thought
him,
he
she's
was
like,
supposed to be the smooth one.
yeah. But his wife, Martin Lawrence's wife, though, is like, I don't know if it's because he's lying and this is the way the character plays it, or if she really is this unreasonably jealous. But that's what I was telling you when we were watching the movie. Whitney was like, he doesn't want to tell her because he's going to be staying at this house with this other woman, and she's so jealous that he can't even be around a woman who's a witness. Because this is that another thing I fucking hate in every movie about cops. One of them is married, and the wife doesn't understand that she married a cop.
Years
Yeah.
ago,
Why are you always at
allegedly
work?
a year
Why are you late?
ago?
Yeah, it's like, dude, you have fucking 11 children or whatever running around this house. I think
It's like in
three,
it's like
but
in a movie where someone's married to a spy and like, I gotta go. Oh, you're leaving dinner again? Like, dude, I'm a spy.
I can't
not even just
stand
that.
that.
You know I'm a
doctor.
spy or a doctor.
even
yeah.
like something as simple as a doctor.
Yeah, I can't stand that. Like, oh, we're finally getting to go out to dinner. Beep, beep, beep. Oh, hey, there was a 97 car pileup on the freeway. I have to go
Sure,
into the hospital.
fine. That's more important
Whatever.
than me.
That's more important than our first anniversary.
Arms crossed real hard, like just go. Like, yeah, he has to.
Yeah,
The-
that's literally his job.
The first anniversary of our first kiss. It's more important than that. Really? Really?
I fucking hate that in
I had to
every
make it even
movie.
more dramatic.
This is the first time we got our anuses bleached together, and you're just gonna forget about it.
Fuck you. I'm done.
It's just one
I'm
of
done
my it's
bleaching.
one of my worst like it's one of my most hated tropes.
It is.
It's my love at first sight for you. Like
Yep.
I mean,
And I also do hate it. It's just annoying, but I hate the love one more.
because it's used in every movie and every TV show, because most movies and TV shows are about doctors, cops, spies, military, whatever. And every time it's like someone who's like, I don't understand what you do for a living, so I'm going to yell at you.
I imagine
about
there's
it.
firefighters' wives out there that do not get mad when their husband or partner or a partner getting upset at their partner. Either way, gender neutral, folks. Where it's like, hey, I'm on duty for 4 days, so I won't be home for 4 days. They probably knew that going into that relationship and are very okay with it.
Yeah.
You kind of have to be, pal.
You really do have to be.
It's like when I'm dating somebody and I have to go on a 4-day bender and like I'm not going to come home and I'm going to be drinking for 4 days straight. You knew that in this relationship that I'm a bartender.
You met me on day 7. Will Smith is going to the place where the madam is, and he's like, because he's looking for information about who Max was with and how to find them.
We get a shot of a bloody hand turning on the sink or turning on water.
Yeah.
So this hitman beat this madam mercilessly. And I'm glad we didn't get to see it.
Yeah.
Because it looked like just his hand was like, oh,
yeah,
like tooth in there.
Yeah, it was pretty gruesome.
Yeah, and it doesn't.
Just
that's
being
all
a
it shows. It's just a hand twisting a knob.
I was happy, a little restraint right there. Like,
I was like,
I don't need to see you beat this woman to death.
And then Will Smith calls for backup as he enters the building, and this guy hits him with a baseball bat, knocks him out the door, or whatever he hits him with, and that's kind of it.
Yeah.
But this explains why Will Smith is missing all night. When
your partner's missing, go fucking look for him.
Nah, he needs some
he
time
paged
alone.
him.
Paged him 15 times.
Paged him.
What else do you
answer.
want him to do?
Go look for him.
No, he paged him. That's as good as looking.
So Tea Leoni says, like, she calls the police precinct, and it's only Joey Pants and Martin Lawrence, and she says that she won't speak to anybody but Mike Lowry because Max had mentioned that she trusted Mike Lowry with.
If I was ever in trouble, he's the only one I would talk to. And I think the Tea Leoni's character even mouths it when Max is saying it. Like she mimics it. Like, I know you say it all the fucking time.
Yeah.
So that's how she's like, oh, Mike Lowry.
Mike Lowry.
So
this guy's
Martin Lawrence
dick is
has to
so big.
Apparently they don't fork.
He says they didn't fuck.
Yeah.
Or she says they didn't fuck.
Everything but.
Everything.
You take that however you want. You can spell butt however you want, but they did everything but.
So Martin Lawrence.
Marcus fuck.
Marcus fuck.
Who is this Marcus fuck?
Martin Lawrence has to pretend to be Will Smith on the phone, and he's doing the Mike Lowry thing we talked about, and Joey Pants just keeps yelling at him. He's like, you don't sound sexy enough.
Sound
you need
sexier.
to be sexier. Which is a stupid line, but is great coming out of Joey Pants' mouth.
Loving it. Yeah, no,
You
I
need to
think
be
you're spot
sexier.
on there. That'd be so dumb if it's somebody not funny or just a bad delivery, wipe it from the fucking movie. But no, give me like 2 more minutes of this, please.
And I'm glad he goes through all 3 of them. I feel like he dies in the 3rd one.
I
Maybe
haven't
not.
seen the 3rd one.
Maybe he doesn't.
I don't
I hope
remember.
not.
We watched it. I know I watched
We saw it in
it.
theaters.
Okay.
And that
Okay.
that was the last time I watched this movie was because we watched 1 and 2, and then we went and watched that one. Martin Lawrence goes to
I was
Tea
bored by
Leoni's
this movie.
goes to Tea Leoni's house and like goes in, and she attacks him with a baseball bat. Like she won't let him in at first, and then she does, and then she still attacks him with a baseball bat. And it's just a whole scene of them just yelling at each other and nobody listening to anything. And then these guys just fucking blow this door down with a shotgun.
This is some of the worst shotgun use I've seen. I could hit you from here to where you are with a shotgun without looking.
Yeah.
And these guys are just blank missing. Point blank missing.
I mean, Tea Leoni's very skinny. Maybe the bullets, all the stuff's just spraying
Ooh,
around
Martin
her.
Lawrence in his first vest, for anybody's counting.
Yes.
He's in another vest later, and then Will Smith in the final scene's in a vest because they're investigators.
Oh.
No, but there is some god awful vest work in this movie.
There really
Investigators, Paul.
What's the red? Is this the red one?
They're investigating. They're investigating.
Is this the red one with like the off-red pants?
Yeah,
to
this is like
match?
that shiny maroon.
Yeah.
Martin Lawrence has to take Tea Leoni to Will Smith's house or apartment, I guess.
Condo?
I felt like I remembered it being like a house, like a palatial estate. Maybe
It's
that's
very
the second
big.
one. It's a big apartment. It's a very nice like condo.
Oh, Martin
probably.
Lawrence gets a huge upgrade in number 2. I don't know about Will Smith's, but like Martin Lawrence is living on like legit looks like beachfront mansion.
Okay, because
Yeah.
in this movie he's living in a
Next
house
to
from like Boys in the Hood.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
with
He
the
gets
like
a huge
motel
step
right
up.
next to it.
Yeah, there's a motel across the street. I actually thought about that when later on when Will Smith sees
it's
them.
across his yard.
Well, like later on when Will Smith's looking at the guys that are watching the house and he's calling in the backup or
Yeah.
whatever. And I was like, wasn't he just at the house? How is he looking at this? Oh, this hotel's on their street.
Oh.
Yeah.
Neat. Okay.
It's like it's how Jack and I are sitting right
We're
now.
saying hotel with an H as if it's not a motel.
Oh, it's
Where you
definitely
take
a
your hose.
motel. It's
a
like
hoe.
It's a
how I'm
no-tell.
sitting here, and then there's the motel.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
like
it's
the
fucking
cum stump
awful.
over there.
Cum stuff.
But I think Mike Lowry's got a pretty nice place. As
Yeah.
Tea Leoni comments, she's like, all this on a cop salary? Huh?
Sure.
Dirty bitch.
I do
Yeah.
want to mention Chet.
Chet the doorman.
The doorman, because
Do
I
you
recognized
recognize
him
him?
immediately.
I don't recognize him, but he was a treat.
He's
was a
Bob
treat.
from Becker. I don't know if you ever watched Becker.
Nah, not enough to know anybody
Okay,
besides.
I didn't. So the second
obvious.
I saw him, and I saw Becker a lot when it was probably when it was syndicated or something
Okay.
on Comedy Central. Maybe I just remember it being on. Maybe my parents were watching it.
It was
Is
on
the-
like TBS in the middle of the night.
maybe because it was like a ABC show or something like that. Whatever channel Cheers was on.
Yeah, NBC.
NBC, because it was still Ted Danson. you
Oh,
know.
yeah.
So but I remember watching the show a lot,
Old Dancing
and
Ted.
I just
Little
remember
dancing.
because there was the blind guy, and there was Ted Danson, and then there was this guy, and it's the second I saw him in this, I was like, hey, that guy's from Becker, which is a sad thing to know off the top of my head.
I definitely
but-
recognized him, but I didn't bother looking him up. But he was, I mean, probably like 10 lines in this movie, and I loved each fucking
Every fucking one.
Yeah,
you
he's
know, I
funny.
wanted to be a cop. I even studied for it. I took the test, but it didn't go anywhere.
And later on, when he's calling in for
wait here
the
for my
police-
backup.
yeah, he's like he calls and he's like, "Police department, this is Bob." Or sorry, this is Chet.
This is Chad.
Oh wait, shit! I didn't tell him what the address was. I got to call back.
Even at this part that we're at right now, you know, once Martin Lawrence strong arms him, first pays him off a little bit because, you know,
Yeah,
he's like, hey,
'cause
you
he
got a
recognizes
lady
Martin Lawrence.
outside,
He knows
yeah?
who he is.
You got a lady outside with you know, and so he greases
How's
his
the wife?
palm a
How's the
little
kids,
bit,
huh? You know?
But then he breaks his arm up but he's even says, he goes, I can help out. He's like, no, you are helping out. No, I could sit up there, you know, like a cop and with a newspaper and a book, like a mafia, yada, yada.
Yeah.
But he does give Martin Lawrence some shit. He's like, "How's your wife? How your kids? Family is the most important thing." And he's like, "Shut the fuck up, Chet."
It's not like that.
Sure.
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 And then he waits until he comes down to tell her he's a witness. She's a witness, and she needs to be protected. It's like, just say that right now.
But even, are you done already? One of those guys, huh?
Oh God, right?
I don't think a doorman should be talking about my longevity in the bourgeois.
I know I would.
Martin Lawrence is trying to like.
Of course you would.
He doesn't know
you
his
need to
way
get some
around.
stuff? Did you just like bukkake yourself right
No,
now?
I was using my hands, but then I stopped talking when I went like this because
And by the way, a bukkake is more than two people jizzing on you at
But you
once.
only have two hands.
Dicks between the fingers is what he did, folks. Dicks between the fingers.
And I was here for it.
What were you saying before we were so really bukkakied?
Martin Lawrence is trying to find his way around Will Smith's condo
yeah.
here or whatever, and he's like, "I'm always moving those switches."
I redecorate all the time. Trips on
Trips
like
over a fucking step.
Why am I tripping on things I know where they are? God damn it.
Martin being Martin.
Yeah, and he basically leaves her there and goes back to the police station, even though it's the middle of the night. When we get back to the police station, it's during the day.
Oh, because he
Oh.
wanted to go home.
I don't know if we're skipping it, but
He
we
said
do.
he had to go back to the PD.
Yeah, but he ends up going home
Oh.
because he's not supposed to.
it's fine.
And then that's when she's like, "You don't even have your fucking ring on. You smell like perfume.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let me
And
get a
this is
pillow."
Chance number fucking 3 to
I
explain.
got a Power
right?
Ranger. I woke up with a Power Ranger,
Power
in, my
Ranger
ass.
in my ass, which is just good fun. But I don't know if we skipped it or if it's coming up, but
Which
it is
Power
in the
Ranger?
apartment, green, always green, where you get the first kind, not the first, but Martin's first homophobic. Because she sees the picture of Will Smith and she's like, "Oh, I thought it was like your
Oh yeah,
finger
that's,
his
partner."
that's
tower.
coming up because that's when he goes back. But
Okay,
yeah, that's-
gotcha,
yeah.
gotcha. I just
'Cause
knew it was
he's-
the apartment.
I
I,
thought
ain't gay. I ain't gay. And she's like, "No, it's okay if you are." I was like, "No, hey, you ain't listening. I'm
Yeah.
not gay."
No, I have a note here in all caps
Gotcha.
that says I'm not gay.
He writes up for
love
every
it.
note.
It doesn't matter. We could do like when he goes back. She's looking. She's like, "Oh, who are the pictures of? Who are all these pictures of this man who's not you?" First of all, why?
It's weirder that they're your pictures
Yeah,
of
why
yourself.
does Mike Lowry have 45 pictures, framed photographs of himself in various poses? And I'm pretty sure there are at least two of the same picture.
Oh, there has
I
to
think
be
there
Michael
was
Bay.
two of him doing his police like graduation thing or whatever. Of yourself on this thing. Who has that many pictures
Where
of
are the
himself?
pictures of your dead parents? Because he says,
Yeah.
"My parents left me money." Where are the pictures of your dead parents, dead siblings, or even whatever microcosm of woman made it in your life?
Wait a second.
Do you not have pictures of yourself all over the house?
No, I don't have pictures of myself.
Same.
So he's rich.
Yeah.
He's an orphan.
Oh, I
He's
know where you're going with
Batman.
this.
He's a crime-solving investigator.
Does that make Martin Lawrence Robin?
Yes.
He might be gay.
Martin Lawrence is Robin, so they are gay together.
Yep.
Absolutely. Figured it out here, folks.
We solved it. We are the investigators.
Ooh, Batman. What
Joey
you gonna
Pants
do?
is Joey Pants is commissioner.
Joey Pants is Gordon.
Joey Pants is Gordon.
Checky Cario's more of a Two-Face or a Penguin.
Yeah.
I would say Penguin.
He's
Penguin killed
pre-Two-Face.
everybody.
He's pre-Two-Face. We haven't seen him get burnt up yet.
Yeah, no. He's Two-Face right after he crashes his car into that wall later.
Yeah, that'll do
That'll
it.
melt your face.
Hey,
though.
Lee, if nothing else, he Harvey dented his face.
So they're at the police station, and Will Smith shows up. Martin Lawrence and Joey Pants are like, "Hey, what the fuck, man?" And he's like, "It's cool. I've got a concussion. No big deal."
Dude's got an ice pack on his neck and clear contusions.
And you're literally just nagging like a fucking.
Yeah, he says you're like a nagging wife.
My first question would be like, Derek, you okay, man?
Yeah, because he
I
even
haven't
says
seen you and you look beat up. Are you okay?
when Martin Lawrence is just nagging, they're walking up these stairs, and Martin Lawrence walks away, and Will Smith goes, "I'm feeling much better though, thank you."
Yeah. Will Smith is definitely the better character, I guess.
He's a murderer.
I mean, yeah, but he
the,
does
the
start.
subplot of this movie is how much Will Smith loves killing people.
This is true.
He's not wrong.
But at the beginning of the movie, one of the first things he says as Kim Coates is holding them up is, "You have no respect for other people's property or other people. Like, you have no respect. You lack it." He says it.
Oh,
At
but that's
least
because it's
twice.
his property.
Yeah,
Well,
he
right.
only cares because it's his property.
That is his $105,000 dick you're trying to jack.
With no
Now.
cup holders.
Ooh, that sounds bad. You're trying to jack his dick, all right? Do not jack his dick.
I mean,
I
how
thought we
many-
weren't allowed to use your name like that.
Oh, well, like that you can.
Every time Jack requests time off on the calendar, it says Jack off.
Yep. Yep. Should have heard me play hockey. Mark
Jack
on,
off.
jack off. I was 9.
Oh, you made it worse.
Oh yeah, how much does he have respect for people's property throughout the rest of this movie though? When they just destroy Miami.
Yeah.
Like that's
true.
the whole joke in Hot Fuzz. They watch Bad Boys 2 and stuff, and Simon Pegg's like, "I won't deny that it's a nonstop thrill ride, but you couldn't do all this without incurring a considerable amount of paperwork."
Yeah.
Oh, these cops are getting fired or just hung. Sorry, hanged by the city. The city is going to hang them.
Yes. There's already implications that at least Will Smith is hung.
They
so.
will
Yeah,
be. They
that's
will be
true.
hung.
Ooh, we do. This is like I said at the beginning. Will Smith. Now, every chick in this movie is thirsty for him. Even
Yeah.
Martin Lawrence's wife is like,
Oh, put it back in. Marcus would hate that I let you see it.
oh, that's so good.
That's a really funny scene.
Yes,
But-
it is.
So Joey Pants is trying to play basketball,
Smoking a cigar.
smoking a cigar, shooting hoops, and I am
In
not,
a jersey.
I am not sportsman. Everybody
Yes.
knows I am not sportsman.
It's a terrible superhero.
While he's sitting there shooting hoops, though, I'm watching him, and I'm like, you gotta get a little bit of a hop there, man. His
Yeah.
feet are planted like concrete, and he's just leaning forward.
But that's
and
probably
hucking
because this
ball.
is take 46. He's like, I can't fucking jump anymore.
I
Okay?
can't bend my knees
I'm just
anymore.
gonna throw it up there and see if it hits the
I mean,
fucking rim.
I know the joke is that he can't make a shot, and it's a race joke because he can't make it. Will Smith takes the ball and does.
And
I
just-
didn't see it as a race joke.
I did.
I took it
I saw it
as
as an old man and a young man.
I took it as Mike is fucking smooth. No matter
Yeah?
what this dude
I guess,
does.
yeah.
And you can it's Michael Bay. So if you think it was racist, it probably was.
It's basis.
But I just saw it as he's struggling. He even says at one point, he's like, I was making them all before you guys got here. I was fucking making all the buckets.
He's yelling at them about killing a bunch of people or whatever,
As he should be.
And Will Smith is like, I haven't killed anybody yet today, Cap.
Yeah. Good.
Yet.
You should be taking these guys' badges and eating them in front of them. This is how done you are.
You want badges? I got badges.
Give me your badge and your gun. This
and
is
it's
with,
scenery. I'm chewing it.
this is when he has that discussion we were talking about earlier, where he's like, "No, so he's gonna be you, and you're gonna be you, but when you're with him, you're
You're
not
gonna
you.
be him.
So he's you, and you're you." And
And again, Joey Pants delivery.
It's Joey Pants having a breakdown, just trying to deal with these two as his fucking underlings. So when they decide Will Smith is going to stay with Martin Lawrence's family because he needs to stay somewhere, and
because
Martin Lawrence,
the bad guy's
But
got to look at
also,
the license
yeah.
plate.
Oh yeah, they might have seen the license plate, so they want.
Oh no,
to
he
protect the
says.
house.
He's
I
like,
actually
they-
thought it was funny. He goes, "They definitely got to look at my license plate." Like, you don't know that. You were fleeing for your life and like
You're
driving and
assuming these
ducking.
men can read.
Yeah, but sure as shit though, they did. Oh, I did like the smaller guy with the big mustache. He's like, "You fat fuck! If you were any thinner, you could have caught him." The guy's like, "I'd like to come over there and squish your fucking skull." It's like, "Ooh, you're in trouble now."
We get that scene, which basically shows that these bad guys have the same relationship as Martin Lawrence and
Yes,
Will Smith.
and
You know
there's
what?
a tall one and a short one.
Oh yeah,
What?
they're just some good Goonies banter. That's all.
Goonies banter.
Martin Lawrence has to go to Cleveland, he tells his wife, for a federal subpoena. That's his story. Instead of just saying, I have to go with this witness because she thinks I'm Mike and we can't tell her because she won't
Lack of
cooperate.
explanation.
And of course, the wife is all pissy about it, whatever. And then we meet for a moment. We only see him like twice, but I recognize him right away. It's Kevin Corrigan as the chemist.
Oh yeah. I know him
mean,
from Fringe.
Yeah, he's in a bunch of stuff. He's in Fringe.
Superbad?
He's in Superbad.
Pineapple Express. He's a
Pineapple
hitman.
Express.
He was in
yeah.
a show with that other redhead guy.
Besides me, he did a show with me.
Yeah.
He's explaining that it's too humid and the drugs just aren't being drugged in fast enough. I don't know, something.
Yada yada, moisture, yada yada,
Bit boop
deadline.
science drugs.
I did like Checky. That's the actor's name, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I did like Checky just checking this guy. He kept getting really close and like body checking him. Like he's like, "What do you mean moisture?" And then thumps him with his chest.
What do you mean there's too much moisture? I have you in a basement in Miami with
This
no
is a
air
boat.
conditioning.
This is a boat on the ocean in Miami. What do you mean moisture, asshole? And the guy keeps saying, he's like, well, he's like, no, you're fucking up my deadline. It's like,
Well,
but here's the science.
It's like that thing in a
Because
lot
he's
of
just a
movies.
huge scientist.
Well, it's like that thing in a lot of movies where the scientist is like trying to
Right.
explain to the bad guy, the lead bad guy he's working for, like, this physically cannot work because of science. And the bad guy's like, I don't give a shit.
I have a
Make
deadline.
it fucking work.
I thought you would be, the guy's like, I thought you'd be a reasonable person. He's like, I am an insane international criminal.
Yeah.
What led you to believe
This
I'd be
backup
reasonable?
scientist is like, yeah, dude, shit's all fucked. And he looks at him, he's like, you don't fucking talk again. It's like, oh shit, he means that.
Dude, that fucking stoner ass scientist. Kevin Corrigan's kind of a stoner scientist too, because he's got his white lab coat, but it's got like patches on it.
Yeah, there's
And there was,
peace
like,
signs.
Yeah, there's like peace signs. And there was something about like a feel good something. I
So
don't know,
you are
like-
making heroin to bring world peace.
Yes.
Is what you're looking for.
So everybody deserves to feel
He's like, look, man, peace, but also like
nothing.
he's fine.
So you're saying
He's a
he's an
libertarian.
anarchistic hippie. Oh, that's it. That's
He's a libertarian, yeah, an anarchistic.
That's what I said, anarchistic hippie.
Heroin's fine, man.
As
if you
long
wanna
as
do
you're not
heroin-
hurting anybody.
The government shouldn't tell you not to do heroin.
I mean, that's a discussion for another day. I agree.
Oh, I can podcast about that.
But because if you're doing heroin, you're not hurting anybody but yourself, unless you're hurting people.
Well,
then
until
you
you
get the
start,
heroin.
until you start not having no heroin.
that's
Yeah.
when the law has to step in.
Exactly.
Doing heroin's not the crime. Stealing,
don't
Getting
be addicted.
heroin.
stealing from people and killing people for heroin is the crime.
Just
So-
don't get addicted.
Well, okay. Now,
dude, I
what
don't
if
care.
we were
Get
getting
addicted. What do
What
I-
if there was a big company out there that could manufacture better heroin and package it in tinfoil? We're back to Hostess making heroin.
I was like, oh, like opioids?
Where's he going with this?
Like,
It's
Vicodin?
They package it and they sell it to you, and you open it, and it looks like a Twinkie, but the cream filling is heroin.
Heroin. Oh yeah.
Ooh.
I want a heroin
Snap into a
Twinkie.
Slim Jim.
Oh yeah.
I went a different way, but
quick side note. I think you were at work when we played this, right?
Oh no. I was definitely there.
Okay. Macho Man Randy Savage has a hip hop album
Ooh yeah.
called "Be a Man,"
It's a ridiculous album.
but it's
like
it's
when I say I
Macho Man
like it,
rapping.
it's not because it's good. It's because it's fucking
It's
wackadoo.
not as bad as I thought it would be.
I'd
but
listen
it's
to it
not,
before I'd listen to Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
What about Vanilla Ice?
This is better than Vanilla Ice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's still doing his Macho Man voice, so it kind of sounds like what Sea Murder or like Exhibit or what's the,
me home tonight.
Yeah.
I don't want to let you go, brother.
And we were playing it at work, so I couldn't really hear it, but you can
that's
hear him like
fantastic.
Macho Manning over these beats.
Did you?
We all assumed
away.
when I told them it was a thing that existed, and Turk went and looked it up. We all assumed it was going to be some like '80s fart rock, like
Not any sort of like precursor DMX guy.
yeah, no, definitely just like this is white DMX from 1992 or whenever this album probably came out. Like it is preposterous. It's actually kind of wonderful. Anyway,
So remember
It's like this. It's like the movies we watch. It's not good. Had a hell of a time.
remember when there used to be a Modern Times in Portland?
No.
Okay, well, there used to be a Modern Times in Portland, and Dee and I went on our honeymoon. And when we walk in, we are like stuck in the 90s. Shocker, it's fucking Portland. And there is
The 90s are alive.
there is a 10-foot, you know
Oh yeah.
Oh, Post-it notes.
like
No, not at this one.
it wasn't
Oh.
Post-it notes. It was the dangly.
They had like this, like the streamers, kind
Yeah.
of like the tinsel.
but
you
they
put
were
on
only
trees.
like 3 inches long.
Okay,
Of
okay.
Randy Savage hanging from the ceiling.
Wow. Okay,
Like,
so
It
he
was like a
was-
Randy. It was like a Macho Man Randy Savage pinata made out
Yes!
of sparkly
There we
gold
go.
and purple.
Just like hovering over
that's
you.
amazing.
And it wasn't, and the other decorations
kinda
was
like
floppy
tinsel?
disks. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna try to show you, but all my pictures disappeared off my phone.
I went to the San Diego one, so we had the Post-it notes
Okay.
of Michael Jackson and Bubbles
Bubbles.
the chimp.
Oh, okay.
That's what we
I
have
thought
on
it
the
was.
wall.
I thought that was the one with the Yoda, but that's the one with the discs. They had like hard, like the floppy discs.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the other thing they had
That might have
at
been
the
LA.
Portland version was like the floppy disks. Not the floppy, but the harder floppy
Yeah,
disks.
they're still called floppies, but yeah.
But the hard floppies.
Old people like us think of floppy, and we think of those the big 3.5 inch ones or whatever. The 5.5
that literally are
ones that were
floppy disks.
not the small ones.
Not the
I
small
actually
hard
witnessed
ones.
once we
Compact.
went. My buddy Phil has a kid, and the kid was, I want to say, about 14, 15 years old, and took the floppy disk out, and his son looked and goes, "Dad, what is that?" That was like the biggest moment I felt old, when his kid was just like, "What is that?" And he goes, "Oh, it had what do you say? It's like 1 megabyte on it." He goes, "You mean a gigabyte, right?" I'm like, "No."
It was like 3.5 megabytes,
No.
but still, it was
Like,
megabytes.
He's like, "You got to mean gigabyte, because like right now in this day and age, a gigabyte is nothing. It's
Yeah.
it's
You could
fucking
fit one MP3 on that disc, maybe.
maybe
If it's less than a
Maybe.
4-minute
We're
song.
not talking like a Guns N' Roses song. We aren't talking a
No.
Led Zeppelin song.
We're talking about
Taylor
patty
Swift.
cake.
We're talking about like 1980s punk. It's just like 2 minutes of
You could fit
Done.
an entire Melt Banana album on that thing, but that's about it. I know we don't want to do it, but we have to finish talking about this movie.
We have to talk
So,
about this movie.
real quick.
Okay.
So we talked about the "I'm not gay" scene already.
Yeah.
But I did write down one thing where Martin Lawrence is walking out of the room, and that's what's really confusing me. By the way, Marcus Martin is really fucking with me. Anyway,
Marcus, Martin, Mike,
Marcus Martin, Mike
Will Smith.
is Will. Will Smith's easy. That's what I hear anyway. So Martin Lawrence is walking out of the room.
Don't talk about his wife though.
No, yeah, that's just his wife. That's easy. From what?
It depends what your age is.
Well,
was
because they have the whole like
Yeah, I know.
open thing that wasn't really open.
Don't
Who
fuck
knows?
your children's friends. That's
I
just a
try
good-
not to.
That's a good no. That's just a good statement to anybody. Like, just don't fuck your children's friends.
Yeah.
You'll do a lot better in life if you don't.
I mean, that's
Was
that's
that
a
what it
good
was?
rule of thumb for
Yeah.
the first 18 years, and it's an even better rule of thumb for the next 20.
It's a solid rule for the first 18. Like, do not break that. Then after that, you shouldn't break it.
Yeah.
You just shouldn't. It's not illegal anymore.
But he does say this line as he's walking out where he's like, "I'm not gay, whatever." And he mumbles to himself, he's like, "If I was gay, I'd change these drapes."
I didn't catch that. And that's fucking
That
great.
is fantastic.
So they're looking through the computer doing something. I don't know what they're doing. And he's eating the sandwich. And this is when she's like, you know, like all
he's
vegans,
wet
has to
mouth.
tell him I'm a vegan. And she's like, "I don't eat flesh." He's like, "What?" She's like, "That's flesh you're eating." He's like, "It's bologna."
You're eating ears and cheeks and buttholes and
Yeah,
eyeballs.
and he goes, but he's like, she's like,
That
that
meat
probably
had
had a name
had
at
a
some
name.
point. And he goes, "My bologna has a first name," and then she goes into the whole "it's made of lips and buttholes" thing or
Yeah.
whatever. But I had
Touche.
the my bologna has a first name thing was.
I thought it was a good little comeback, but I did not appreciate his wet noises, especially when he dunks this pickle in what can only be a Cuba Libre, and just he eats it with the moisture of some sort of alpaca.
Dude, there is soda and pickle juice all over this keyboard.
all over
Yeah.
this.
Because like if anybody who's not gonna watch this movie, he dips a pickle in Coca-Cola at least.
At least.
It might be rum and Coke, might be Cuba Libre.
I just don't.
But
I
think
mean,
I've
it
ever
is
seen-
Miami.
I've never seen anyone drink a Coke with ice in a rocks glass.
that's fair. But he dips it there because he's like, "Is this pickle okay? Can I eat this pickle?" And she's like, "Well, it's got a lot of salt." And he's like, "Here, let me wash the salt off." Dips it in Coca-Cola.
He's like, no salt.
That makes it healthy, but
I don't
if
even
that
taste
did
the
work, that's not healthy. Yeah, I kind of figured the tech geek in you is like, stop splashing your pickle
Dude,
all
that's
over.
all I could think about. I was like, there is soda and pickle juice in that keyboard.
So Martin's wife is talking to Will Smith.
Yeah.
And it's very homemakey, like pick up the kids.
How are the
get some
kids doing?
dinner.
What's the potty training
How's
going
the potty
on?
training go? Yeah, because he
So, but
says
she hangs-
he says when he gets the page, I gotta call the wife.
The wife.
Whose wife? My wife?
And she hangs up, the conversation's over, and he's like, yeah, and he sees Martin Lawrence kind of
Maybe
lingering.
you should get some
He's
movies.
like, get a movie so we can cuddle up to. What you wearing, girl?
Yeah.
And that's when Martin freaks out. Give me the goddamn phone.
And he's like yelling. He's like, "Hello, hello!" And he hangs it up and picks it up again. And then even after he's hung it up and the scene is over and they're leaving, he picks it up one more time. He's like, "Hello."
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
and I
good
could
scene.
see him doing that
Fun scene.
in real life.
So we mentioned the dogs are shitting all over the house.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, it's on like this nice rug and stuff, which comes up later.
I was planning on getting rid of that
when,
rug.
when they come back, Will Smith is like, "It looks like there's a stain on your rug over there."
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was
another
gonna
good
get rid
one.
of it.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, you wouldn't get rid of
I
that.
would be pissed.
If it was, I'm glad you're okay with it, because if it was me, I would be pissed.
And then also Yvette, who called earlier to leave like a salacious message as soon as they got to the apartment or the condo, she comes in just in lingerie. By the way, when Martin Lawrence kicks her out and like Will Smith is like, "You kicked her out naked?" I'm like, she showed up in that outfit.
Yeah,
It's not like she changed in the hallway.
I think he's
Right?
more shocked. He's like, how did you not sleep with her? Just how as a man did you not sleep with this woman in a Michael Bay universe?
And I
Right?
mean,
What she's here for.
yes, we're Michael Baying it, and it's this woman in this lingerie and stuff. But
Girl, she looked good.
yeah, it's excellent.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
we
if
could
she
make
wanted-
fun of Michael Bay for his misogyny all we want.
But if she was
Beautiful
okay
women
with
are beautiful
this,
women.
Yeah.
if she was okay with this, like, girl, here's to you.
Yeah, she showed
Oh,
up.
I'll give big ups to her.
She's a
fucking,
masseuse.
she massages things. He even says that.
He says the quote. I think it was, "She massages shit." But he pauses and says it, and I'm like, I get what you're saying, but don't say she massages shit.
Yeah. Say massages.
Unless he's
thing.
really saying like, she gives me a sphincter massage.
You didn't see the strap on she had?
She just needs a finger. Just two
Vibrating
knuckles.
strap on, dude. She's gonna massage yo shit.
We got this club hell. And we
Yeah.
get this truck that they're like, let's park it outside of this busy club full of ether because Michael Bay. Like, we know you see a truck full of ether, you're like, cool. So this is involved in a high speed chase.
So it's a bunch of little Chekhov's guns.
Yeah.
It's like a Chekhov's gun that pays off 5 minutes after you see it.
If you see a gun in the first scene, it needs to go off 4 minutes later. I wrote down leopard top hat. I don't know if anybody noticed. Extra alert. So people in the club.
So you're saying it's 1995?
This guy in this club in the background is wearing this Jamiroquai fucking
Ooh.
floppy top hat, leopard print felt thing.
Are we sure it wasn't Jamiroquai?
He was
Well,
black.
Can I
Oh,
tell
okay.
you this? I don't want to tell you this.
Tell me.
I own that hat. I bought it at Hot Topic.
Wait, the leopard one or the Jamiroquai
the
one?
leopard Jamiroquai one. There literally was a hat that you bought from Hot Topic that was a super. It was for raver kids, and I wasn't a raver kid,
I
but I
was.
sold drugs.
That's how I know Nikon.
Well, I don't want to tell you how I know Nikon. But anyway, long story short, yes, I owned a leopard print Jamiroquai hat and wore it on more than one occasion.
If I ever do ecstasy
Okay,
again,
but you're
I'm gonna
talking
need
about,
that
like-
hat.
I don't have it.
You're talking about like kind of the oversized, like crazy one? Or
No,
like,
I'm talking about like if Cypress Hill had a leopard print.
Okay, because this is like this is like a real like a top hat that fits. I'm thinking of like the novelty, like the one Jamiroquai wore that we're trying to joking about. It was like a big hat,
Yeah.
like an oversized.
You're thinking of
novelty
like,
hat.
what is it? Mushmouth from Fat Albert? Where
Yeah.
the whole beanie went over the head?
Yeah, but this is like this fits on this guy's head, and it would be a top hat except for it's made out of crushed velvet. It's fucking leopard skin. Anyway,
Well, at least mine was better than that.
Oh, okay. No, this is where in my notes I said a foot for Jack.
yes, they're like strippers or like
Yeah.
dancers of some sort in this club.
It's an evolution of go-go dancers, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
and then she's putting her foot in Will Smith's face while Martin Lawrence goes to take a piss, and Martin Lawrence commits a capital sin, having a conversation with the person at the urinal next to you.
But this guy
Well, this
starts
guy's
it by standing right next to
next
you in
to
a
him.
row of
well,
urinals.
there are I only saw like 3
No,
urinals.
there's like 4.
It doesn't matter. Don't fucking talk to me. Don't come up to someone in a bathroom and talk. If there's a divider, it's less weird. These urinals are self-standing, already full of piss.
Eye
Do
to
not speak to
eye.
me. Do not look at me. Do not talk to me. We are here to do our business and then leave. If you want to compliment my penis, wait till we're out the door.
Oh, I can't wait to go pee next to Derek. I'm going to look down at his penis by Capricorn, huh? I don't know why.
Scorpio.
Oh, damn it. Well, he's got the dick of a Capricorn.
It's,
We both fucked that up.
I meant to say he's got the lick of... he's got the dick of Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yes.
This is what happens 7 beers in.
I mean, that must
I
be.
mean, you're not wrong.
The dick of Leonardo DiCaprio must be decent. He keeps going back to 24-year-olds, and he's like 50 now, so
money helps.
it helps.
A little.
Also, he's cute.
Money helps.
So they fight in the bathroom, and
Oh my god, the pee in the urinal. Like,
God, it's so
drink some
bad.
fucking water, people.
everybody at this club needs to just have a little bit more.
I'm
water.
by myself watching this and went, ugh! It just, ew.
Ew.
Also,
Like, your kidneys are failing.
Did anybody notice that there are like part of the decoration of this club are like bodies in foil suspended
Yes,
from the ceiling?
I was
Oh,
gonna
I didn't
say
catch
hostess bodies.
Yeah, they're like red strings with like, and I mean, obviously they're not bodies, but it's made to look like a body wrapped up.
Well,
but it's like in foil.
He's an environmentalist drug dealer, and he's like, all right, unwrap the heroin. Don't throw that foil away.
We're gonna make a body out of it.
Wrap some mannequin parts or real parts. I don't care.
Just Febreze them first.
It will look real nice.
So, Natasha Leone, that's a different person. Taya Leone did not
Did not stay at home.
stay home. She's like, I want protective custody, but I'm not going to stay in place or listen to anything the police say. So she leaves in a miniskirt and goes to this nightclub and decides she sees Chucky Cario up in the box, whatever.
The balcony, I
Yeah.
guess. Like, it's not really a balcony, but it's the executive suite.
Yeah, where they can watch the club that's in every drug movie, right? And
Yep.
she decides she's going to try to shoot him, and he's just watching her. She pulls this gun out and points it at him, and he's just like, do it.
Almost nobody around her reacts. Like, I know it's a
No.
loud club, but
Oh no, Derek's
I
like,
can-
somebody's dead.
I can see. Oh yeah.
Well, right now, when she does pull the trigger, Martin Lawrence tackles her. That gun goes off and just flails.
He smacks her arm down, which means that there's somebody in front of you that caught a 380 to the butt cheek.
Yep.
At best.
At best.
This
Maybe
also, by
up
the way,
the
is
butthole.
the same. It's a very, very similar gun, make and model to the one Morgan Fairchild uses in Phantom
Ooh,
of the
but it's
Mall.
not pearl
no
handled.
pearl handle because it's Mike Lowry's gun, and pearl is for the ladies.
feminine.
It's too feminine.
Yeah, that's
for this.
too gay for him.
It's too gay for him. This is a Michael Bay verse. I ain't gay, and I'll prove it.
I don't got pearl.
I'll fuck Morgan Fairchild
who-
right now to prove that shit.
You know who did have pearl-handed guns?
Who?
Doc Holliday.
You're a daisy if you do.
So they're trying to get away, and they decide to steal this truck. You know, you stole an ice cream truck, man. It's not my fault. It
Why?
can't go
Because
fast.
of plot.
Yeah, because something has to explode. So
There's a limo right in front of this thing that'd be better off.
and she gets really pissed. Also, the car they came in.
Right?
Sure.
It's a block away. I mean, they were walking across this parking lot and they passed this truck. Run across the parking lot and get in that car.
Yep.
Because you know what? The 8 seconds it took you to get across that parking lot,
You're
get
going
in
to
a
make
much
that right
faster
back up.
car. Yeah.
You're making that 8 seconds up in about 3
but
seconds.
then you can't blow up a bridge. So
True.
they're. By the way, when they're driving away and they're doing this chase, she's getting all mad.
her
And she's
line-
like, "Yeah, this is protective custody,
I got so mad.
bitch. It's your fault."
You're here.
Right? I thought the same thing. I was so mad. I'm like, you were the asshole that did this.
Yeah.
And then she's like, why are you running away? You're the fucking cops. Get him.
But did you happen
Like,
to notice
bitch.
Will Smith responded to her? Because she says, you call this protective custody? And he goes, yep, and leans out the door and starts shooting. So he's like, yeah, you're with me. Smooth.
They go down a
cucumber.
bridge that's under
Silk
construction
on your
because
butthole.
because why not make the worst decision you can make during a car chase?
Yeah, keep following this construction line, guy.
Yeah, so they're on this bridge. It's under construction. It's about to run out. So Will Smith goes to the back and starts hucking barrels of ether at these dudes.
Which have to be heavy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking of full kegs.
Yes.
At
Full kegs of
minimum.
beer.
These are
100%.
bigger than
This is what I'm
kegs.
thinking, though, is like, I
full
cannot-
keg, not a half like we serve, like not the kind of keg you buy at a bar, but like this would be the double version. This is
Yeah.
a full
Like a barrel?
This is a one barrel, like
And all I thought about was me on a shift trying to pick up a 15-gallon keg.
yeah,
By
This is
myself.
minimum 33-gallon
No.
barrel.
And Will
No
Smith
fucking
is
way.
just manhandling these things.
Yeah, and he's tossing them out the car, and they're bouncing around like they wouldn't do.
They almost hit this shirtless dude because he couldn't be bothered to put on a shirt when he's at a club, let alone chasing. He's like, nah, I look pretty good.
And then he
Yeah.
shoots them, and they start to kind of like flame up, and then the guys crash into it, and then they explode, and boomtown.
good little bay explosion. It's
Yeah.
not digital by any fucking
No.
means.
That's the best part about this whole movie.
We get squibs.
Yep.
We get fucking
Dude,
flames.
the
We
squibs
get
at the,
dummies.
woo, the
We get
squibs at the
dummies.
end. The squibs and the flaming dummies.
Yeah.
Dude,
at
the
the
flaming
end.
dummies in that last scene, I was so
Ooh, let's
fucking
get
happy.
there.
I
Yeah.
texted Jack that.
Yeah, let's get there.
They go to this liquor store. It's kind of a side thing. It doesn't really matter, but it's just a joke, and we got to touch on it because it's racist Michael Bay
And I
stuff.
have a line that you might have missed from this if you weren't subtitling. So go ahead, tell yours.
We were subtitling, and they kept saying stuff that wasn't in the
Okay,
subtitles.
Yeah.
so comment on that. I think that, and I've never had this proven, that I think the subtitles are off the script.
And then that's what I think also.
Yeah,
And what we
there's,
get
I think it's a
is
mix.
Creative.
Will Smith throwing a little bit, like what I got for his subtitle was, we're not going in there. And Will Smith says, ain't no fucking way we stepping foot in that.
Yeah.
You know, something along those lines. A bad
Yeah.
example, but I kept getting those all day too. But so they go to this bodega.
to buy shampoo, and like the girl walks in, Taylor
he's
Leoni walks
checking
in,
her out.
and he's
Like,
eyeballing her,
yes.
and then Martin Lawrence and Will Smith walks in, and he's immediate like, oh, black dudes.
I'm surprised he didn't say like, "Hey, brothers." Like,
Yeah.
He's
No.
like that fucking Korean shop owner, and was it?
I feel sorry for your mother.
Yeah,
Menace to Society.
Menace to Society. There we go.
You were thinking of Boys
I
to
was
Boys
in the
to
Hood.
Men.
Well, no, I
Boys
was
in the
thinking of
Hood.
Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood is what
But
he was thinking of.
Menace to
Gotcha.
Society, yeah, he's like that guy. He just sees black guys and assumes they're there to rob him.
Yep.
And he sees the gun and everything, and they're like, "Hey," he pulls a gun on them, and they're like, "Dude, we're cops." And he's like, "You're not cops. You don't look like."
But he
cops.
does the
I've
great,
seen
He
like-
cops."
says no. He says the best line ever.
Mother bitches.
Yeah.
Mother bitches.
Freeze, mother bitches.
I blow you and I blow you.
Okay, so here's where the line comes in. Because he goes, "I blow you." Martin goes, "What fuck? Calm down, blow me. You can hump me."
Yes,
Yes.
I did get that
And
from
that-
the subtitles.
How is that better?
You can hump me. No, I would much prefer to be blown.
Yeah. If I have the option, I'd rather get blown than fucked in the ass. Putting it out there, world.
For me personally, yeah. I mean, maybe
I'm
not
not
everybody.
kink shaming. I'm just saying me.
So we know a little bit about Martin Lawrence and his wife now.
Heck yeah, we
He
do.
likes to get pegged.
That's why he retired. You gotta
But
limp.
wouldn't you rather have your dick sucked than
Yeah,
get
exactly.
pegged?
That's what we're
Like,
saying.
Yeah. Consensus is yeah.
So this whole thing apparently was like improvised. Like they just were like, "Hey, be racist." So the guy saying "freeze mother bitches" was improvised, and then Will Smith was like, pulls the gun out. And he's like, "No, you freeze" or whatever. And he's like, "And also get me some what is it, Bubblicious?"
Tropical Bubblicious.
And some Skittles.
Yeah. So that was all improvised.
Yeah,
So that's
it's
great.
fine. It's fine. I think in '95 it worked a lot better with like the I'm gonna assume an Indian dude. I'm sorry if I got the race wrong, but this dude misusing language.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
probably fucking hilarious in '95 to combine motherfucker and son of a bitch to mother bitches.
He
I will
also
blow
does say it
you.
again. He
Yeah.
says it twice, which is great.
Yeah.
So it's not like it was just him being excited and saying "mother bitches."
No, he has a
says
tentative
"mother bitches"
grasp on the
again.
English language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As do I.
And I'm gonna use that. by
I've
the way.
noticed.
Yeah.
I want to call
Mother
people
bitches.
Mother bitches.
Come on, you
and
mother bitches!
I'm going to blow you.
I blow you.
You're gonna get a real weird work day.
Oh, let's see who has a better day.
You can't say that.
You start yelling, "I blow you." You're gonna get bigger tips.
Yep.
I mean, I'm here for it.
So Taylor Leoni is now fucking with Martin Lawrence. Like she knows. I didn't catch it right away. I was like, maybe she's suspicious, but Whitney was like, no, she knows.
She totally
like,
knows.
She's there. She's laying on Will Smith's bed, and Martin Lawrence is all awkward about it. And she's like, for a guy
don't
who's
you feel funny?
Yeah.
for a guy who's such a fucking player or whatever, you sure feel weird about a woman
saving
being
yourself
in your
from
bed.
marriage?
Yeah, and he's like saying, and she's just saying all this weird shit to him, and then she's talking about how, like Will Smith being married. He's
Well,
like,
Marcus is like a lot to handle. Like, I bet his wife is getting it right now.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Saying
Well,
all the right things
Mike,
to.
not Marcus.
No, but she's saying Marcus because.
Oh, that's right. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, I know you are.
No. It's really fucking tough when you don't know the names of people pretending to be each other.
Yeah, but yeah, and she's talking about how like they must fuck all the time or whatever, and he gets,
Lucky lady.
Oh, when she's
Lucky
talking
lady.
about trying to fuck him, I'm pretty sure, and I probably heard it wrong, but I'm pretty sure he says, "I come with thunder."
Yeah, he
Like
says.
I come, like so he comes lightning bolts.
well, it was
Like,
spelled
he's-
COME, but still.
Oh,
he
okay,
says,
I was looking down and I didn't read the. I just was like, "Did you say I come thunder, or I
He-
come, or did he say I come with the thunder?"
He says when you don't want none of this because when I come with thunder.
so. He does come lightning bolts. Got it.
No, thunder is the sound.
He comes with thunder.
You know what?
comes with thunder?
Thor is called the god of thunder, and guess what? His fucking hammer does lightning bolts.
Because
He's the god of tickle fingers.
his dad was the god of lightning.
my dad owns the world.
My dad owns the lightning.
My dad is lightning.
It's gonna be so much.
My
trouble
dad
for
owns
you.
Valhalla.
Wait till Odin hears about this.
You're fucked.
So
But
she
no,
says,
she's
she says like,
totally-
I bet his wife's enjoying his smoothness right now.
Yeah.
And that sets him off. So he goes out and tries to call, and that's when we get to what you were talking
They're
about.
looking at the book, and there's like the
photo album.
Martin, yeah, the photo album. Martin's got this glorious fucking
great
afro.
fucking fro.
Oh my goodness, spot on, beautiful afro.
Also, I really hope that was a real picture. From
I feel
his
like
high
it
school
was.
years. It didn't look photoshopped.
Doubtful.
I feel no, it
I don't
could have been
know.
a wig.
You're talking about Martin.
But-
I mean, he was famous like right before this, early '90s, late '80s. So that would mean like early 80s, that would have been him in high school. That would be still have a fro.
All right.
I feel like it was.
Respect if it is.
I hope.
Respect if it is.
I hope
we
it's
can hope.
beautiful.
So he calls.
We can make that canon.
And right as Teresa is about to say, like, Will picks up the phone and she's like, Michael, put it back. Marcus,
Put it back in.
Put it back in.
Because he takes the photo out, yeah.
Marcus would hate to find out that if this happened.
It says, I had to write it down almost word for word. Put it back in. I can't believe you took it out. And he's like, what the fuck? And she's like, Marcus will kill us if he finds out.
I let you see it.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
And he's like, this motherfucker right here. And hangs up and takes Tea Leoni into his car and like handcuffs her to the car and goes, and he's like, I'm going to break into my own fucking house. So he's like sneaking around even though you just walk in the front door.
So this is at the time that Marcus, playing Mike, is trying to break in. Will is sitting at the corner of the window seeing the other car at the motel across his lawn.
Yeah, and those guys are like watching the house because they're waiting for Marcus because they don't know.
Followed the fucking license plate.
They don't know who Will Smith is, so yeah, they're waiting for the guy that they recognize, who is Martin Lawrence, and they're like, "Oh, that's the guy," and then like, "What the fuck's he doing?" And they're watching him try to break into his own house, and then they start fighting. No, yeah, you're fine. Will Smith comes out, and he's like, Miami PD, and he sees a black guy in the yard, so he holds him face down, and because he's a cop. I'm not saying.
I will say this was kind of fun when he puts his head into the pool and it shows it from like the pool's view. There's a very clear smudge on the lens. So I'm thinking like Martin Lawrence's nose hit not the lens, but like the plexiglass or whatever they have right there. It is a very visual, like very clearly visual smudge smear.
And they're talking about how they could come up. They're like, we could just go up there and snuff them both right now.
Yeah,
and he's like,
easy.
no, they're going to take care of each other. Don't worry about it.
And then here
Sanchez
comes
and Ruiz show up and they save
the backup
day.
that Will had already called
Fucking
in.
with cops' family. Doesn't that just fucking bug you?
Pisses
Yeah,
me
you
off.
can't fuck with a cop's family, man.
Yeah,
How about you can't fuck with anybody's family, bitches?
I fuck with bad guy's family.
So we go back now. This is where Michael Imperioli comes back.
Jojo.
They go back to question him because he was a chemist in his previous criminal life. Now he's a tire guy. I only do tires.
He's a rubber guy.
He moved under rubber.
I'm under rubber, man.
And there was an unnecessary moment of slow mo that I want to point out.
Oh, when Will Smith slams or.
Yeah,
Yes,
Will Smith.
Because Martin Lawrence starts chasing him,
Yeah.
and Will Smith comes around the corner, just slams up against the wall. Should be enough of a shot, right?
Yeah.
I didn't
But
catch the
it's-
slow mo.
Yeah, it goes into slow mo for just a second for no reason. But it's not even. They didn't even like shoot it in slow mo to where it's like slow mo. It's that thing where you slow down the film so it's like weird,
It
choppy
added
looking slow mo.
nothing.
It has nothing to do with anything. It's just Michael Bay going, "I like slow mo." I guess he's figuring it out.
When I saw it, I thought this guy learned a trick in film school or on a Playboy shoot or whatever, and was like,
he's like, we used to
feel
do this all
Playboy.
the we used to do this all the time.
You're
When
slamming-
the girl comes out to the pool, right?
You slam her into the wall, and you do that in slow.
yeah,
Oh no, the Playboy videos aren't porn. Come on, they're just softcore girls getting naked.
yeah. You think Hugh Hefner did anything hard?
It's just it's just saxophone music.
He's the reason Viagra was invented.
Well, he funded it. This movie, by the way, we haven't talked about like sexy saxgrams and blues jazz. Like it is ripe in this movie.
This soundtrack
That's
it doesn't make a whole
Giuseppe.
lot of sense until the only things that really fit are like the action songs. But even then, some of them, like the opening credits, are to this intense
The
action
rest is like,
song. And it's like these are buildings.
it's you just go into a building.
It's Careless Whisper starts up.
Never gonna film again.
Wasted. Sorry.
Film.
Go.
No.
So yeah, then they do their arguing thing where they're like faking people out like they always do. Martin Lawrence is trying to ask Jojo, by the way, as Michael Imperioli's character.
Yeah.
Jojo the Tire Man, trying to ask him questions, and Will Smith just like loses his shit and like he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna fucking kill you," whatever. And like Martin Lawrence immediately recognizes it as one of their little like bits.
Plays.
So he's like, "Hey, I'm not going down for Jojo the Tire Man," and he like leaves and goes
walks
into the hallway.
a corner away.
Right after Will Smith pointed the gun at him, and I think that's where he's like, "Oh, this is one of those things," because he points the gun at the bad guy. Martin Lawrence is like, "Oh, he's about to kill somebody else."
Yeah.
And then Will Smith points the gun at Martin Lawrence, and he's like, "Oh, it's one of our fun bits."
And he goes, "So sad, Jojo, you're on your own."
Yep.
And now we're gonna start hamming it up.
Yeah, and he goes around the corner and he's just laughing to himself, but he's yelling. He's like, "You better tell him more.
Tell him, JoJo.
I don't want to get brain on me. You know, when it gets in your clothes, that shit stinks.
By
It
the
don't
way-
ever go away.
By the way, in this scene and the next scene, Martin Lawrence is dressed like a gangster of some.
Yeah,
like, he's
he's
dressed
got
like
now
like
he's
a
got the bandana.
do-rag.
he's got a
on.
bandana and glasses. He's Tupac.
Now Will Smith
and then
is
Will
in a
Smith is
vest.
dressed like fucking Crocodile Dundee.
He's in a vest, like he's an investigator.
But this
Gator.
vest is not anything like he's been wearing silk shirts and all this stuff, and I could see a vest, but it would be like a 3-piece suit vest.
I actually think
for
this
Will
was
Smith.
supposed to be that.
This is a fucking safari vest.
Yes,
like,
it is a
This is
safari
something
vest.
that we've seen. Who's that guy that stuck his finger in animals' butts?
Oh, Steve Irwin.
Steve Irwin. Stuff we've seen Steve Irwin wearing. Like, this is a
I got
Crocodile
a South Park
Dundee.
reference. I can see you're lost. Steve Irwin allegedly never shoved anything up anyone's buttholes, but in South Park, he always put a thumb up his butt, up other people's butts, not his. But no, this is a bad vest. Martin Lawrence's, I blanked on when it was, but he had a vest on that is a beige version of what I have for dove hunting, because it even had the little pocket on the small of your back, which is where you put dead doves. Like he turned. Well, it's dove hunting, but he turned. And I was like, "That's the fucking pocket." Like it's not like a hip.
Why are you
vest.
hunting doves, and why aren't you doing more of it? There are so many fucking doves.
Why are you
Doves are
doing that, and
delicious.
why don't you do it more often?
Quickest switch in history?
Also, the reason I said that's terrible is 'cause I'm just thinking of like, it's just like, and put you in there. Oh, got your brother. Put him in there too.
Yeah.
Got
Got your wife.
Put her
Oh,
in there
yeah.
too.
I'm not saying it's not genocidal.
That's fine. Doves are like
Do some more
fancy
of it.
pigeons.
It's a little game we call.
And then make us some fucking squab, man.
Dove is. It's an appetizer at best. There's not a lot of meat on that. So
I know, it's just basically
This
breast.
is why I don't hunt dove anymore, because I like to eat whatever it is that I'm hunting, and I don't really want to eat dove anymore. So I'm
I know.
not hunting it.
A guy I dated, we shot a dove in his driveway
Okay, that's not hunting.
with a BB gun.
that's not
illegal.
hunting. That's city living.
Super illegal, yeah.
So Chucky Cario sees. So they're watching Chucky Cario and his people with like binoculars, and
But guess what? He's got a Trace Buster, bigger binoculars.
Yeah, they're like, Tea Leoni wants to look, and they're like, you can't look because you'll bust us. And they're like, well, you can, whatever. And she looks, and that's when he sees it. But he already saw them, by the way.
He was
Because-
already spying.
Yeah,
them.
when I don't know if it was Martin Lawrence or Will Smith, whoever is looking, and they see him, he is looking directly into the windows of this man's soul.
Yes.
Like he is staring directly at him. So then when she takes the
you're not
binoculars
wearing your
and looks,
contacts today. I see.
when she takes the binoculars and looks, he's got his fucking like viewfinder from I don't know what the fuck these are.
This
These
is the top of the Empire
cartoon-
State Building.
Yeah.
He took those little viewfinders.
Those ones you have to put a quarter in,
Yes.
like the fucking Grand Canyon, and you can see like that's what it looks like. He's
There they are.
holding.
Give me another quarter. I cannot see them.
And that's when Teresa goes to Will Smith's apartment because she's like, "Oh, I know where this motherfucker is," or kind of whatever. She knocks on the door, and Tea Leoni answers, and she goes, "I'm Teresa Randall. I'm here to kill my husband." And she's like, "Is that the tall one or the short one?"
Yep.
She's like, "The
Short
short
one.
one."
I
Yeah,
thought so.
I thought so.
So we know now for sure that she definitely knew.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think since moment one, it's gotten more and more solid.
I say as soon as she met Will,
she would have bolted.
She knew.
Oh, as soon as she met Will.
Yeah, she's
Probably.
like, oh, that is
Yeah.
Michael Lowry.
But instead of coming out and saying,
because-
she's like, I'm just going to keep fucking with you.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Martin Lawrence has no idea where anything is in this building.
Exactly.
And all these pictures are of Will Smith, and they're not gay. Because if they were gay, then it would be like, okay, that's your boyfriend.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Should've
Because
played it-
she
should've
does
played
say,
it that
by the
way.
Should've
way,
played the gay card.
during that conversation, she's like, it's perfectly fine to be homosexual.
It's
And he's like,
Not in
no,
this fucking
no,
universe, lady.
No, I'm not gay.
Not in the
I would have
Bayverse.
played gay.
So there's more bad lying.
I also would have acted it too.
They're trying to come up with lies to tell Teresa Randall about what's going on. Teresa Randall's the actor, by the way. Sorry.
yeah.
Her
Also,
name is Teresa,
Teresa
and her
in the
character's
movie.
name is Teresa. So.
Hey, that's 2 movies in a row now. The notes are easy for you.
Yeah.
Actor plays actor, or actor plays same character with same name.
What is
actor.
Marcus's
Yeah, but-
last name? It starts with a B.
Burnett.
Burnett. That's right. Because
Attaboy.
he's like, can I get a chance to talk to Mrs. Burnett? Like,
Yes.
They don't
And
know
they're-
already.
And they're trying to lie still, and it's like, just tell him what's going on. So he finally tries to tell her when she gets to the
Somebody
elevator to leave.
explain something, please.
Tea Leoni just walks by these guys with her bag and leaves, and the
Uh-huh.
cops, these 2 cops who are supposed to be protecting her, don't say anything until she's in the elevator, and then Will Smith chases her.
Shirtless Will.
And
Well, he's got a shirt. I'm sorry, it's wide open.
Yeah, that is the funny part of this when Martin Lawrence is trying to explain what's going on, and he's like, "Look, I know what you're seeing when you come in. I'm half naked. Mike has his shirt open and his chest is all out. And there's this white chick and she's in a skirt. He's like, you think we're having an orgy? There's no orgies here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, it takes more than 3 for an orgy, but I get where you're going.
That's threesome at best.
Yes.
This is before the days of widespread internet. He doesn't know all the terminology.
That's true. I watched.
I mean, he does live in Miami though,
just
so
want to keep relevant.
What are you keeping relevant?
Porn. I want 30 minutes a night just to make sure I know all the terms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes 30 in the morning.
What are you
just
doing,
extra
step
credit.
bro?
You're the best stepbrother ever.
All right, so Chucky Cario and his friends arrive at Mike Lowry's place.
Chucky and friends.
Chuck and Co. arrive.
Good
it's not
shit.
Chuck, it's
Lollipop.
Chuck.
I know, it's Chucky and the Goonies.
They arrive in the lobby as soon as so Will Smith and
Tea
Leoni are
Leoni.
getting out of the one elevator. Martin Lawrence and his wife are getting out of the other elevator.
Well, she says the comment like, if your wife can find me here or find you here, then obviously they can find
Which
us
does
here.
not make any sense because the wife would know where to go look.
Yes.
Exactly. She knows
The
exactly
only
where he
reason
goes.
that Chucky Cario and his people know where they are is because Tea Leoni was like, let me look through the binoculars, and then stood up over the thing and stared. Like she got into the most obvious position
Oh, and like
that she could.
this is actually a smart bad guy moment. Like someone's like, "Do you want to take him out?" He's like, "No, follow him. Don't
Yeah.
be seen. Follow him."
Yeah.
They're all in the lobby, and it turns into and Martin Lawrence's wife, by the way, is telling him like, keep that ring in your pocket, go fuck yourself, I'm out,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. You and Mike can go keep doing what you're fucking doing, and you can live with him now.
Yeah, you guys can all 3 live together and have your little throuple.
Have your
You're
Miami
still
spit
paying for my
roast.
house and these these
Miami
fucking 3
spit
children.
roast.
Look it up.
No, thank you.
I will.
I gotta post something tonight, real quick. Hold on, I'll be right back. Don't look it up yet.
So anyway, there's a shootout in the lobby. Chet dodges a bullet. I thought he got hit, but I think maybe that was someone else. Someone got shot. Some innocent bystander. They show a guy in like a uniform.
Okay.
Maybe a bellhop.
Yeah, like a
Do they have
bellhop,
bellhops
maybe.
but
there?
not. They might have.
But
I don't
then-
know.
but
Not in
then
an apartment,
immediately-
right?
Well, then
At a condo, you might.
immediately afterwards, you see Chet diving behind the counter. So
Holding
With
either
Dookie.
Dookie
And
or
that's-
Lukey doesn't
yeah,
fucking matter.
and he's
Dogs
calling.
suck.
It's Dookie because Dookie was the one with the flowing locks.
Dookie was the Yorkshire,
There you
and
go.
Lukey is the poodle.
I'm not happy.
I'm gonna have to insert a head shaking sound there.
I was thinking more like the bongos.
This is when I have the note Ben Stiller in Happy Gilmore. Oh, yeah. Because the guy, and he's been in the movie, but he had like slicked back hair in the mustache. But in this one, his hair is like down.
That humidity got to
Yeah,
him.
and he's got the mustache, and that's all I could think of was like, you will go to sleep or I will put you to sleep. You're in my world now, Grandma.
Chet gets shot, and he's like, "My arm hurts." Oh, your arm hurts? Well, now your back's gonna hurt.
Right?
Well, now your lungs are going to hurt because you just pulled ether duty. Anybody else's arm hurt?
No, I didn't think so. This is some handmade quality heroin.
Literally.
So they take Tea Leoni, and then this is the big chase to the final scene. So it's a car chase where Will Smith is chasing a car on foot.
I know. I'm like, what
Trying to
the
chase
fuck?
this fucking.
And my first
Bronco.
thought was it's going to be like they're running and he gets away and they're like, oh, it's too bad. He keeps up with this fucking
Yeah.
truck.
How is this even possible?
Oh, I'm laughing out loud.
Oh, it's
Literally.
I mean, they do decide to take the worst path. They're like, let's go on this
A bike
walking bike path thing over this little bridge. That
Chase
dude
the
is just running
bicyclist.
for his
He
life.
is,
This
because they didn't tell him there was a stunt. He's like, he looked over, it's like there's a fucking Bronco coming after me. He actually surprisingly,
he
this guy
didn't
was,
know what they were filming. He thought it was real.
He was on the freeway for the O.J. Simpson chase, so he's got Bronco PTSD. He's like, not again.
And then they run through a beauty salon, and fucking Will
Same
Smith.
beauty salon.
Will Smith is being his charming self. He's like, "Hey, you look great."
I was like
And
Ferris Bueller's moment.
as they and as they run out, there's like a wheelchair basketball team, which I feel like is just an excuse for Michael Bay to knock over a wheelchair guy.
Yep.
Like it has nothing to do with anything, and I feel
I
really
think it's
bad.
the guy that didn't even have legs, though, right? Because one of the
yeah,
wheelchair
definitely
guys
the
did
guy-
not have
definitely
legs.
the guy in the
You gotta
front.
swing hard.
Well, because definitely the first guy in the group didn't have legs at all. Some of them
Okay.
did, but they're like a wheelchair basketball team, and they just get in the way, and this guy just plows over a wheelchair.
I'm
dude.
just happy Michael Bay wasn't playing like Roll Out while this was happening. Like, at least you're not that big of a dickhead.
Was that song even out yet?
No.
No.
Then
That's why.
There you go.
That's the only reason.
So then the bad guys steal a cab. They jump in this cab and shoot this fucking cabbie and steal this cab.
The Goonies do not.
The bad guys, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they're trying to get away, and Martin Lawrence he gets on top of the car and he falls off, and then he almost gets hit. I don't know how he falls off the car and ends up like 20 feet ahead of it.
He slams on. He crashes into another car and it knocks.
Oh,
Marcus
that's
off.
right. He falls off because he slams into that other car when
Yeah.
he flies off, and I was like, well, that's a broken shoulder.
Yep.
Nope.
No, and then he's about to
fine.
get hit, and then Will Smith saves him. So
This dude
yeah.
has lung capacity of just like he's
And-
been sprinting for like
it's
30
Mike
minutes
Lowry.
now.
How much stamina do you think this boy's got?
Oh, he's been working it out. He's been working, he
Yeah.
writes off condoms as like a tax write-off.
Yes.
At the very beginning, Teresa does say, like, don't kiss me. I don't know where your mouth was last night.
Exactly.
Did you have a date last night?
This is, by the way, where we get the Michael Bay shot.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Bad Boys shot, but it became the Michael Bay shot. It's what I think of every time someone says Michael Bay, except for there's no helicopter.
Slow motion spinning
Coming from
camera
the bottom.
coming
Yeah,
from
the
the bottom.
low angle spinning, and it's done even better. I mean, more Bay-y, but it's a cool shot in the second one because it's when they go back to back, and he's like, "Shit just got real."
Yeah.
and then the thing. And
It's
then
a really dope scene for two people getting up that are winded. It
Yes.
looks
Yes.
dope.
Your mother bitches, I'm murdering you.
Mother bitches, you're about to get blown.
yeah, Checky Cario calls and tells him like, "Hey, I'm gonna hold this chick for 4 hours until this deal is done, and then whatever."
Which, can I ask you a question? Why is she so... I know human life is one thing. They don't want her to die. Why is she so important now that we have two police officers that were shot at by this guy? It used to be that she was the only witness to him committing murder, right?
Yeah.
Now you have two out of uniform officers that would try to kill this guy. Tried to kill them.
Yeah.
Isn't that
They
enough?
don't
Because
need
she's
the-
an actual witness, not in a badge to actually portray being like, yo,
Chet,
I watched.
Chet's your witness.
I
Chet's
watched.
your fucking
Chet
witness
saw
now.
the whole thing.
But for the original- for Max.
Burnett saw the whole thing.
Yeah.
She's to put Max's murder on there.
Okay, sure.
To add one more life.
Yeah,
I
one
guess
more-
you know
one more
what? As
charge.
I'm saying it, it does connect him to the heroin.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
it.
So
All right.
this is the last scene where Mark Helgenberger shows up and she's like, "Hey, you're all reassigned. This place is shut down because you just turned Miami into a fucking war zone." I'm like, "Turned?"
Yeah.
And we have this hacker Fletcher, who I only wrote down as John Sally as the actor.
Yeah,
I only
do you
wrote
remember
down
him?
because he's definitely a bigger part of
Yeah,
the
I
second
know. I
one.
think he's in.
He was a basketball player.
Yeah, I definitely know him as more of an actor than a basketball player.
okay.
But because when he's an actor, he stands above everybody
Oh
else.
yeah, he's sitting at this
So,
table and
the
he
first-
stands up to talk shit to Martin Lawrence. And,
Yeah.
And
he
it's
is-
like the Rock
he
to
is
the Falcon.
double Martin Lawrence.
You're
Or
just like,
the Rock
who the
to
fuck are
Marky
you?
Mark.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
taller. He's even the bigger difference than that. He's literally like Martin Lawrence could stand on his own shoulders and almost look this dude in the eyes.
Almost.
Yeah, he's definitely like visibly not an actor first.
And Martin Lawrence tells him like, "I will knock you the fuck out."
You lanky motherfucker.
And this is where the guy hacks in and basically finds out that the cop receptionist lady, the one from The Crow, who said she couldn't get into these files, it's because she is the girlfriend, or I guess was the girlfriend
Yeah.
of the dead guy, the dead cop from the beginning of the movie.
But they took naked pictures of me and said they would post it
It's
all
like
over
nasty
my kids.
pictures. Dude, if I look like this chick, please post that. I'm starting a fucking
At your
OnlyFans.
children's
I don't
school.
give a fuck. My kids are going out of
Who do
school.
you think is subscribed to OnlyFans? It's those
school?
kids.
Schools lie anyway.
You're not
All right.
So then they team up with Sanchez and Ruiz, who are having an in-depth conversation about Lucy and Desi.
Because, bassism.
Yeah, well, yeah. What else would you be talking about, right? I mean, if you're Cuban, you have to be talking about Desi Arnaz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all you're allowed to talk about. It's in the immigration papers.
And they go to the drug meetup thing here, where like Checky Cario is selling drugs to this guy that looks like a fat version of Kim Coates,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and he's
Could have
like,
saved you some money if you just would have put Kim Coates in a little bit of fluff.
Yeah.
he gets $20 million in cash and then $180 million sent to two
Two
different
different wire transfers.
wired
You are
accounts.
complicating drugs,
Cash,
sir.
two different, three different
ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're complicating this three-way. I'll tell you right now.
And they get the cell phone number that the receptionist girl had to call. She gives them that, and they use that to track them. Which this is a more realistic phone tracing thing that I've seen in some things, because like they call him and the guy's like, they asked for
Romeo.
and he's like, there's no Romeo here, and hangs up. And they're like, cool, well, we've got it now. We can track it.
Yeah.
Not like all these movies where it's like, we need to trace Buster, and we need 32 minutes we need to keep him on the phone for
31
2.5 minutes. And,
But a lot of the old school, like, let's trace it for 30 seconds was landline shit.
yeah.
This is like
This
cell
is
phone. We
probably
got his cell
one
phone.
of the first uses
Yeah.
in a movie of
Yeah,
like
we got a
cell
good little
phone
GPS
Like
tracking.
on this
actual
dude.
tracking, yeah.
But now we're getting to the point that you were talking about with Joey Pants
Ooh.
calling in favors.
I
Commissioner
need
Gordon.
all of them. I need all of them. The only
Yeah.
problem is I don't know where.
I
Yeah,
did
and,
like
and of
that.
course, none of them show up until the action's over. But
Yeah, it almost came to nothing except for arresting random thugs that were running away.
yeah.
Because our 4 guys took care of business.
Yeah, they all show up and they're like, okay, we need to get in there. There's no easy way in. Will Smith has a plan. They take this garbage truck. Sanchez and Ruiz dress up like the garbage workers, although I don't know why that matters because they just drive it through this wall. But they dress up like the
It's
garbage
unnecessary
workers.
undercover.
And
What did you say? My plans
My
always.
shit always works.
sometimes, yeah. That's a great line, Will Smith. My shit always works sometimes.
I do like it. I text your wife about it when I was watching. I was like, I want to remember this line.
So they drive this garbage truck through the wall of this old hangar, and Jackie Carrios shoots the guy who's buying the drugs because he's like, "Oh, you betrayed us or something, maybe."
I love this squib too. Although I will
Oh
say
my
he had the
God.
gun to the head, and then he pulled the trigger, and it was like over his heart.
Yeah, I thought
There's
thought
two
for a
squibs,
second,
one
I
in
thought
the
he
front
was-
and one in the back, and they were
Oh yeah, they do the
beautiful.
full through. But
I appreciate it.
I thought he was pointing at his head too. And
Yeah.
then his heart, and I was like, oh, maybe it was just the angle of the
Yeah,
shot.
because he just
No.
points forward, and the dude was taller than Chucky.
Yeah,
And
it
then
looked like it was at his head. But-
Chucky or Tea Leoni,
Jesus,
fucking somebody.
fucking names.
Tea Leoni is handcuffed in this truck, and she's got the key that she stole. I mean, we didn't mention it. She stole a key from Mike Lowry's gun locker thing. Whatever.
No, I'm sorry. As somebody that has a gun locker with a combination, this is a gun cabinet.
Yes.
This is an armoire.
Well, he does live alone. I mean, he don't need a
That's
fucking.
true. That's true.
You don't need to keep the kids out. There are no children in this condo at any point in time, ever.
Not allowed. He has Chet stopping him at the door. He's like, hey, Chet, 18 and older. You know what fucking happens up there, Chet. Chet gets a fat
knows.
Christmas bonus,
Yes,
dude.
he
I'm
does.
just saying. You think Mike Lowry ever throws Chet a little hand-me-down?
Oh, 100%.
Like, thanks, babe. Smacks her on the ass. Like, give the door guy a little squeezer on the way out.
Little bit,
Chet's a good guy.
Chet
Hey,
is a
look,
good
I
guy.
paid you for an hour, and it didn't take quite that long. Give my last 20 minutes to Chet.
I did 55 minutes. Chet is going to come in 3. So you're getting 2 minutes for free, babe.
So, yeah, Tea Leoni like gets the key out of her bra, and of course the guy has to make some kind of scuzzy comment, but he is a bad guy.
I'll
Two
scratch
of
it
them
for you.
I'll scratch anything you want. And then she says, scratch. Oh, no, first he says, you got an itch, I'll scratch it. She gives him the finger, says, scratch this. He's like, I'll scratch anything you want, you blue-eyed bitch.
And then she
Yeah.
says the best line, which is, did you go to college?
Did you go to college? I'm guessing no.
So she gets the key out and she unhandcuffs herself and she drives this truck because they left the keys in it.
Classic
and
bad guy
dives out
behavior.
of it and lets the truck go into the barrels of ether, which they're keeping in the hangar. I don't know why. Shouldn't these barrels of ether be at the place where you were manufacturing the drugs?
Yep.
Whatever.
Yep.
Marcus has to save her because she's standing there and Chucky Carrier is about to shoot her. So he dives in and saves her and gets shot in the leg. I thought he got shot in the ass. That's the second one.
That's the second one.
So they moved up a little
Ooh,
bit.
they do make a reference in this movie, though. I don't know if it was foresight or somebody reading back, but he goes, oh, I love getting I don't know what part of the movie it's at, but he's like, I love getting shot at. Gets my heart rate up. I love almost getting my ass grazed by a bullet. And when he said that, I was like, that's going to happen to you. Like, hold on.
I think
It jumped
he's
up
saying
and
it.
bit me.
I'm sure.
I think he's saying it. What I do recall what you're saying, but he's saying it as like sarcasm, like, "Oh yeah, I love getting
Well,
shot
sure,
at."
I
all
know
the
he was
fucking
saying
time.
It's because
that
when
way.
she's saying he's an action junkie because
Yeah.
he's talking about how he's rich. Or
I just
whatever.
wonder if a writer of the second one, if it's coincidence
No,
or if he
I
just.
guarantee.
I think it was a callback.
I guarantee
Yeah.
it's a callback thing.
If I was
yeah, 'cause-
going
'cause
anywhere, I was shooting.
Because he got shot in the leg and he mentions getting his ass grazed. So the next one, there's no way they didn't do that on purpose.
Okay, yeah, that's what I wonder.
So we've got some bad like one-liners that aren't
Wonder.
funny.
They are not, dude. This is not a fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
So he's Martin
Even though
Lawrence.
Chucky is talking like him.
Martin Lawrence is about to shoot Ben Stiller. He's in this plane. and he's like, "You forgot your boarding pass."
Boarding pass.
Okay. Shoots an ether barrel, blows up. But my favorite dummy of the entire movie is this moment. My favorite moment in this movie. They blow up this plane, and there's money, there's paper, like money flying all over the place. This dummy is launched out of this fucking plane.
Not just one.
And there's a couple that flip through the air and stuff, but my favorite is the one that's supposed to be the fake Ben Stiller guy.
Yeah.
He just... It's like they put him in a cannon and just blasted it into a wall. It is the funniest fucking thing.
That's
the
fucking
best.
terrific.
And then my least favorite quote unquote one-liner, I guess. Will Smith walks out from around a corner and he's just like sup and shoots a guy.
Oh, because I'm sorry, it's the bigger dude that earlier was like, "I'd like to crush your fucking skull."
Yeah,
he's got gun trained on Martin Lawrence. Martin Lawrence is dead to rights. Will Smith does the sup, and this guy turns like, no, you shoot that guy. You don't one-liner because he could still pop a shot off of your partner. Shoot him.
And if you're going to waste your time one-linering, don't say sup.
Sup.
You know what sup isn't?
Yeah.
A one-liner.
Not at all.
I mean, it takes one line.
It's a one-syllable.
It's monosyllabic.
A one-syllable. That's the worst type of one-liner. This isn't a he's dead tired or I had to let him go. Like
right.
So Cario gets away.
It's the same noise.
He jumps into this. I don't know what it is.
He's dead.
What is Cario? This car is a sweet little sports car.
Oh, it's the Shelby. It's the Jeep.
Yeah.
It's Shelby
Okay.
Cobra.
And he books it.
This is a
A
rock
fucking
star
67,
vehicle.
right?
Yeah.
Like with the
no.
the poles.
It does have the little fucking racer.
This
rods
is,
over
but it's
it,
a newer, like it's a
Okay.
at the time.
This is probably a kit car.
Yeah.
Modeled after
Okay.
something that old though. You're not far off on the year. But either way, it's a fucking American sexy muscle car.
Yeah, and
it
then
is.
Martin Lawrence shows up with the Porsche, and they get Will Smith. Well, because Will Smith hangs on the car and gets shot.
Yes.
In his vest.
Right in the vest.
And they're
It
trying to
still
get
hurts.
him. They're trying to get him in the car, and the place is going up in flames. And I understand. I said the same thing when we were watching it. I understand getting in this vest shot in the vest hurts, especially because it's point blank.
Yeah.
But he's not even like trying to get up. He's just laying there, and they're like,
'cause
"Get
it
in the
knocks the
fucking
wind
car!"
out of
If you have no breath, you're like pulling yourself away from flames.
I understand. Yeah, it knocks your breath out. You have no, you're whatever. This building is on fire and full of ether, and
It's
things
do or
are
die.
exploding
Yeah.
towards you. Try. So he does eventually. Of course, it has to
He
be
puts
tension.
his arm out, and then the
Tea Leoni is like, "Get in the fucking car!" So they get in, and now Martin Lawrence is driving, and he is hauling ass, and it's a cool chase in the sense that it's fast. I mean, these
Yeah.
cars are going for it.
Yeah, they
It's not
are.
like a lot of chase
It's
scenes.
filmed well.
Yeah, it's not like a lot of chase scenes where they're chasing in a city and you know these cars are driving slower and things are shot to make it look fast. They put them on this fucking
Empty
runway,
runway.
so they could just go.
Yep.
These cars just fucking haul ass.
Martin Lawrence
do
starts
have to
start. Go ahead.
Oh no, yours is before mine. So.
Well, so he starts to just like, "You have the right to remain
Dude,
silent."
and that's the good one-liner. It's more than one line, but that's the good one. He starts
Yes.
reading him his
He's
rights.
like, what are you doing?
Getting it out of the way.
First of all, not how it works. Second of all, fucking hilarious.
So, as they pull out, by the way, Hanger just goes up.
Kaboom.
Just stuff flying everywhere. You can see like the little tracer things of like barrels flipping through the air, like
Yeah.
there's just streamers of smoke and shit. It's wonderful.
I love it.
It's like violent sparklers.
So they're racing each other to get through this one little doorway only one car
Little
can
gap.
fit through, and they're like, and then
car leaves.
exactly, and Will's like, "You better fucking drive. You're driving amazing. It looks like you should get shot before, like to drive
shoot
better
you all the time."
So
It's him or us.
yeah, so obviously Martin like nudges in and makes it through.
Very, very intense. I mean, we know how it's going to end, but it was pretty intense.
You know
little
why these
scene.
movies get worse? CGI got better.
Yeah. And you know what? I assumed that I was actually disappointed when Chucky Cario crashed his car and it hit the wall and it didn't explode. I was like, how did
Yeah.
Michael
I know.
Bay not blow up that
He
car?
was
You need this
exploding-
moment.
But they have this moment afterwards. Yeah.
But he was exploding ether barrels before they even hit by a fucking vehicle.
Yeah. Well, you know, we saw exploding pallets in a Michael Bay movie.
He had some restraint. He had some restraint right here. He's like, not everything blows up, dude.
Yeah.
All right.
You know
calm
what? A
down,
pallet
guy.
explodes. A car crashing into a wall doesn't.
Oh, you know what? I bet you they didn't have the money to replace that car with an explosion.
Well, I mean, they
Ooh.
destroyed that fucking car though.
That's a kit car.
But and yeah, Mike Lowry says from now on, that's how you drive.
Yeah.
That's great.
drive.
And so he's like, Chucky Cario gets out of the car somehow.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he's hurt. And he's
Adrenaline.
limping. Yeah, adrenaline's gonna be the only.
Yeah, but he
inspiration.
looks like me after a fucking heavy night of drinking, where he's trying to
You're,
find his way to the
throwing
water.
yourself out.
There's just a little bit of blood.
Yeah, a little bit of blood, but I'm, like, he should be fucked.
They turn their backs. He reaches behind himself inside of his suit jacket there and pulls
And
out that
then-
little 4-barrel.
So
gun.
you know what
and
this
then
is?
Will sees the little reflection on his face.
So you know what this gun is? You remember the 2-shot Derringers that most
Yeah.
like early prostitutes would have in their garter? This is a Derringer. But instead of it being 2 shots of 22 millimeter, it's 4 shots of 38 or 32. You can get either one.
Ooh,
but
okay.
it's still that top break, just 4 shots. That's it. So it's the evolution of the old prostitute gun.
Oh, I love that. He
now
was
you
a
can
pussy.
shoot 4 people.
Now you can shoot 4 people or 1 person 4 times, as Will Smith would probably do.
Yeah, because
Yes.
he pulls this gun out and Will Smith turns around and
Empties his
unloads
clip.
his entire clip into this dude. And
I counted. It was 7 more shots.
My roommate walked in right as, and she's seen this movie, but she walked right in as Will Smith shot probably 6 shots or so, and she's like, "Wow, some self-defense there."
Whitney was like, "Isn't 7 a little bit overkill?" And I was like, "Well, he's a cop."
Yeah,
I mean, there was that one guy that they shot, and it was like something happened, whatever. I don't remember. It was a few years ago, but there was like 4 cops, and there was like 50 some odd rounds.
oh, I
that got
remember.
unloaded into this
God,
one
it was
guy.
probably some. It was it the mentally challenged kid?
Was it the
Yeah,
guy with
it was
the
one
knife?
of the, it was one of the many fucked up ones that's happened in the
The
man in the
recent
wheelchair
years.
We had
with a
we
knife.
had a couple years.
it wasn't the guy
No,
in the
not that
wheelchair.
one.
He had a lot later.
But this
I'm
was
not saying
like
it
this
didn't,
was
I'm
like
just
50
saying.
or 60 rounds or something.
Derek
into
and
this
I are on the
dude.
same one right now, and it was a
Okay.
kid with autism or Down syndrome. Forgive me for not knowing.
Forgive
Yeah.
my asshole neighbors.
Yeah.
Vroom, vroom.
I never
That
will.
was probably Whitney.
No,
Not
that
this
wasn't a
Whitney.
motorcycle. That was.
But either way, this is like you are getting psychologically evaluated for any shooting you have. And
Yeah.
eventually someone's going to be like, so when he pulled his gun, you shot 6 rounds at least.
You know what? To be fair,
I counted.
To be fair, maybe
fair.
maybe Will Smith is a big fan of horror movies, and he's like, "Look, I've seen Scream hasn't
They
come out
always
at this
come back.
point,
Why didn't
but they
he
always come back.
Double tap the head.
Yeah, they always come back. You just make sure." Just
He went to
full
go rip
circle.
a mask off. He's just peeling his skin like, ugh. Sorry, I thought it was somebody else.
Sorry, I
man.
thought you were the farmer from the beginning.
I thought you were the old amusement park owner. I don't know.
He would have gotten away with it too.
I
if it
thought
wasn't
you
for
were the
damn
AI
Will
lady.
It
Smith.
wasn't for you pesky cops.
For you pesky bad boys.
Or IA, not AI.
So they're having their like final moments. It doesn't matter. Movie's over. But the thing I have to mention, because it's actually a behind the scenes story. So they have this thing at the end where Martin Lawrence tells Will Smith again, "I love you." And he's like, "Man, fuck you," or whatever. And then he says, eventually he's like, "I love you too, man."
Yeah, I said it.
So-
I said it right now as he's rubbing his
No
tit.
homo.
I guess it's mentioned in the commentary for the movie, which I will not watch, but I found it online. There was a big fight between Michael Bay and Will Smith about this line at the end of the production. So weirdly enough, this is actually one of the last shots of the movie, which you don't usually get stuff shot in order.
Yeah.
And Will Smith is supposed to say, "Hey man, I love you." Michael Bay felt that it would allow Will Smith to show a softer side, that he cares about
Sure.
somebody. Will Smith basically fought with him for an hour about how he wasn't going to say this line. And I guess Tea Leoni and Martin Lawrence got involved. I don't know what side they were on. It was a huge thing.
I bet you they wanted to be done. They're like, dude, just say
Yeah.
the fucking line. I'm
So
tired.
Bay finally gave up and told Will Smith, "You don't have to say the line," because this is Bay's story, of course. So,
Yes.
So he's like, he pointed to the setting sun, which is in the background, and he's like, "That's fucking nature, and it's not waiting on us."
Yeah.
So we need to shoot this scene. So whatever you want. And then Will Smith ended up saying the line. Well, this character wouldn't be gay and say stuff like, "I love you" to a man. That's so gay.
That's too soft.
But he was like, yeah, I fucking said it. But I mean, like, you're my brother. Like, I love you like the brother. Like, brother.
Which is all it was meant.
Tell
as
your
from the
friends you
fucking
love
first
them,
place.
people.
Yeah. I tell every single one. I
it
tell
makes
you
me
I love
uncomfortable
you.
every time.
I know.
I try not to be squishy, but
But I definitely tell him, like, I love you.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people
rough.
say it to me. I have a lot of friends who would be like, "Hey, love you," and I'm like, "Sup."
You ever met
Nick
Turk?
does it all the time,
You ever met Turk?
He says love,
especially
love to
when
me.
we're drunk.
That dude will give me a fucking hearty hug. Makes me uncomfortable every time. I wish I had one now.
We're very, very
Oh,
drunk,
I love-
and he's just like
I love
waiting
love.
for his Uber, and he's like, "I love you, man," and like gives me a hug, and I'm like, "Yeah."
It's tough for people like us. It's tough, man.
Some people have souls, some people are
I don't
us.
even know how you got someone to marry you.
So around the horn, Jack, recommend.
Yeah, I'll recommend it for one watch, but then you're good. It's a good buddy cop comedy. It's action as fuck. and the
Yeah.
action's done well. So yes, I will give you a recommend.
I'm obviously going to give a recommend. Again, the one time to actually like sit down and watch it. It's a good one to just have on the background. Like when you're hanging out and
I'm
it's
okay
one
with
just
that.
to keep it on the TV and you look and you're like, oh my God, this part with the flying bodies. Fucking fantastic.
Tune out every
Yeah.
other part. tune
Yeah,
back in.
like
Yeah,
you're just,
cool.
it's a great one. If you've seen it once, you can just throw it on and it's a good one just to keep
a group watch.
Yes, a group watch background. You're hanging out, you're
Yeah.
having fun, and you
Okay,
like,
yeah, party movie.
because then you don't get invested because you know what's gonna, you know what's happening.
Party movie might be a
Yeah.
better term than group watch.
Yeah, party movie.
Group
It's
watch sounds more
perfect for that.
sexual.
Well, all right, group watch sounds better.
But also, obviously, this has a lot of heart to me because of Alan and
Yeah.
Well, okay, so I mean, yeah, I recommend it. Not as vehemently as I would recommend some of these movies like Miami Connection.
There's no Miami Connection.
This Bad Boys
Same
that
universe.
grossed $150 million nearly is no Miami Connection that grossed $8.
What if it's the same universe though?
It might be. I don't know. It's fun.
Hold on.
they had all the
That's
ninjas.
why they had to move to heroin though, because the fucking Miami Connection took down all the coke.
Yes!
Dragon Sound wins.
YK Kim and his friends got rid of the cocaine.
Sorry to interrupt your recommend.
No,
or otherwise.
I guess I recommend it. I mean, it's fun. I don't not recommend it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I do, but I don't say avoid it. This
like I
isn't-
said, one watch.
it's fun enough.
Get you
it's,
one.
It's a good background movie, like you were saying, Whitney. It's watch it one time so you know what's going on, like you said, and then just leave it playing other times. If you're gonna watch the other ones,
It's a
don't
good
feel
lead-in.
bad to watch it again, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's not my favorite. It's one of the better Michael Bay movies.
Sure.
Because
Like I said, it's more grounded.
There are some big like horse shit holes in this script. Isn't that good?
Everyone can explain everything and be done with this movie.
But like, it's not a Transformers movie. I wasn't sitting here wondering who the fuck is Gargletron. Like,
Yep. I think everybody here, if you're listening to the show, you probably agree. Practical effects. Here we
yeah,
are.
practical effects are king.
Here we are
And I
seeing
will
'em.
say,
Flaming dummies, bro.
I mean,
I
there
haven't
was
seen The Rock in many, many moons, and we will probably do it for.
about their best. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen.
We'll have to do it for. It's going to be Bay, but obviously not this year.
Yeah.
I feel like it's probably his one of it. I don't know. It's this, that, and Pain and Gain are probably his three best movies.
According to most people, it's The Rock.
Yeah.
I'd say if you ask majority of people, The Rock is. I don't think everyone's seen Pain and Gain.
And I think
I had a couple friends be like, "Oh, you guys did Pain and Gain? I loved that movie." And I was
A
like,
couple.
but I think like we have Michael Bay in the 90s, which is Bad Boys and The Rock, and then we have Michael Bay,
Which
with,
is
like,
funded.
Yeah, like Michael Bay is lowercase in the 90s, and then in the 2000s and on, it's a Michael Bay production.
Somebody fucked
Like,
up and showed this dude CGI, and he's like, yes, that's it. This is it for the rest of my life. CGI, yes.
Hey, look, I did this movie with great explosions and good action. It only cost me $19 million. But instead, I would like to spend $150 million making robot computers that squeak and squawk.
Hear me out. Graphics.
All right, so this is the end of It's Gonna Be Bay.
"Oh shit!"
I don't have to watch. Okay, well, actually, spoiler alert. We're recording these out of order, so I still have to watch one more Michael Bay
But
movie.
you don't have to watch Pearl Harbor.
We don't have to do any more after that. But this is the last one that will be released. And next month, June, we will be doing Superhero Spectacular, Doctor Strange from 1978, not the new one.
Dude.
Thanks to Vern,
Yeah.
who has it on Blu-ray because he hates himself as
Vern,
much as
do you
I
have
do.
interest? Do you have interest on being on here, Vern?
yes,
I think he might.
yes, he does. He's gonna be moving to this side of town soon.
Email us, Vern.
Yeah, I don't take requests in person.
Badmoviesworstpeople@gmail.com.
And then we're also going to be doing The Phantom, Supergirl from 1984, and Dark Phoenix.
I've
I
only
think-
seen 2 of those movies.
I love The Phantom.
Oh my
seen
god,
it
I love
once.
Billy Zane.
I have never seen any of these other three. I am just assuming, probably safely, that they are terrible.
I've seen Dark Phoenix. And Phantom.
I never watched Dark Phoenix because I don't know. I wanted to. It looked really exciting building up to it. And then like as more things happened, and it was right with the Fox and Disney merger and everything. And that's when shit was
Yeah.
just getting like that New Mutants movie was supposed to look cool. It looked really cool and it sucked. And it's like,
You
rewrites.
just had everything against the mutant movies from the beginning.
No, I
No,
like
no.
that. I liked the first two X-Men. I liked them back then. I don't like them now. They don't hold up, but I liked them when they came out. New Mutants, I was insanely excited
You
for.
were.
New Mutants has parts of it that are really fucking good, but you can tell it's multiple. It's not only multiple writers, it's rewrites, it's multiple directors. The
Oh.
studio butchered this movie.
Yeah.
Where when you watch it, you can see that there's some good bones.
Anyway,
You just threw your fucking phone down,
did.
like spikes it like a football. He's done, people. It's
a good thing it's
fuck
carpet.
up, Jack. Wrap it up, Whitney. Wrap it up.
so I want to thank Evasion for our opening and closing music. Check them out on
Always.
Bandcamp, Spotify, Facebook, etc. Check us out on all those places except for Spotify and Bandcamp. So just Facebook. Also,
Or on
Instagram. That's right. We are on Spotify. What the fuck am I talking about?
I don't know. I normally don't. I might podcast with you, but I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Check us out on all those places except Bandcamp. We're also on Instagram, Twitter. Send us an email, badmoviesworstpeople@gmail.com. Go to the website. Go buy some merchandise. Go to our website. Click the big blue T-shirt. There's some cool links. There's some cool merchandise available there. And even if you go there and you buy stuff from other people, it still helps us out as long as you use our link. So do
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Even
buy
if you
something else,
think my
use our
designs
code.
suck, that's great. There's plenty of cool things on TeePublic.
Yep.
Also, if you go to Harbottle Brewing at any time, mention this podcast, and you'll get $1 off your pints.
So that's it for this week. Until next week when we do something superhero related, I have been Derek.
I'm always the Whitney.
I'm Jack.
Good night and go fuck yourself.
Are you still flabbergasted?
I'm kerfuffled.
Kerfuffled.
I mean, unless it's like a blow-up doll, there's not many other things this could be. And that blow-up doll will be shaped like Grimace, by the way. God, you're into some weird shit that I just made up.
Oscar.
Oh, Oscar, that's a pretty decent sex doll, but you got to be into some
Oscar,
weird
like
kinks.
Oscar the
Sylvester
Grouch.
Stallone? Oh.
Something that'll fit in a package like this because it's a circle and you just squish it down.
Isn't there a Sylvester Stallone blow-up doll in
I'm
South
sure.
Park?
Whoa, is there?
I think in the early...
Might be one I missed.
It doesn't matter. All right.
It's all going to be cut anyway.